won't fall. She's a voice for us all. No chains can hold, no lies can bind. Her fire burns, her truth will shine. Stand with me, stand up tall. For every parent, for us all. Raise your voice, don't back down. Together we'll take back the crown. Stand with me, stand with might. For what is stolen, we'll make it right. They wrote the rules, they played the game, tried to leave us all in shame. But the heart knows what is true, and next fight is ours too. No fear can stop, no wall can stay. Her steps carve out a brighter way. Stand with me, stand up tall. For every parent, for us all. Raise your voice, don't back down. Together we'll take back the crown. Stand with me, stand with might. For what is stolen, we'll make it, won't fall. She's a voice for us all. No chains can hold, no lies can bind. Her fire burns, her truth will shine. Stand with me, stand up tall. For every parent, for us all. Raise your voice, don't back down. Together we'll take back the crown. Stand with me, stand with might. For what is stolen, we'll make it right. They wrote the rules, they played the game, tried to leave us all in shame. But the heart knows what is true, and next fight is ours too. No fear can stop, no wall can stay. Her steps carve out a brighter way. Stand with me, stand up tall. For every parent, for us all. Raise your voice, don't back down. Together we'll take back the crown. Stand with me, stand with might. For what is stolen, we'll make it, won't fall. She's a voice for us all. No chains can hold, no lies can bind. Her fire burns, her truth will shine. Stand with me, stand up tall. For every parent, for us all. Raise your voice, don't back down. Together.
Welcome! I'm on. Hi. Oh my goodness, technical difficulties. I didn't realize this whole time my Facebook Live was not public. It was only my friends. This is only 1,000 people, so no wonder. So I worked on that and figured it out finally. It took a little bit, so I'm a little late than I wanted to be. I am going to check on Instagram, make sure Instagram's live. We are good and it's public. I know that for sure. We're going to turn on our TikTok. I'm exhausted. Almost done with this. We have a wonderful guest, Julie, that I've already interviewed. She's been on my show. She is a journalist in California. She was at the rally today. We're going to hear from her. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, there, everybody. And then let's see. Facebook is live. Let me do one more thing, everybody. No, I don't want to do that. Fine. All right. I don't need to hear the song. I know, Jill, you're there. Forget it. I'm done. Hey, Julie, I'm going to put you on in a sec. Here we go. You're on, Julie.
Howdy.
This technology stuff is not fun.
Yeah,
Maverick.
I was doing a Facebook Live at the courthouse, and then I realized it was to my friends, and so then I had to go and hit the little button and change it to public.
I know, it is like
and
that.
I had my glasses on, so I was like
trying to see.
Yeah.
That's exactly. It was funny because you were on. I got to see you on the rally when you came on, but I couldn't hear you. Did you know that?
Yeah, that was really disappointing to me. I couldn't figure out what was wrong, why it switched to no volume. And then I improvised and went to Facebook Live
Okay, is that
instead.
what you did? But I
And then
was
I
like,
tried
oh,
to
we got there, we're there. But
I tried to join you on my Facebook Live, but it wouldn't do that. And I don't know why. But anyway.
well, it's probably because mine was on private, mine was on friends, so yeah.
Maybe. That's all right. I got it documented.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So tell me what it was like today at the rally.
It was really great. I know there were about 6 or 7 people who either couldn't make it for one reason or another, and then were really disappointed. They were texting me about it, but we had a really good turnout considering how terrified people are to speak out.
Yes.
And you know, so I just commended the people that did show up and said, you really need to pat yourselves on the back because you showed up. That showed immense courage, and it's gonna send a sign and encourage others to come out and start speaking out. And because it's infectious, once you start stepping out, other people see that and they're like, it's time. And with what's going on in family courts in Orange County, California, and across the nation and world, it's time for our elected officials, our judges, our lawyers, to be made uncomfortable for the things that they've been doing to the American children. So it was great. Let's see, several of the people that I've covered their stories showed up.
Yeah.
So Joanna Castro showed up. She was holding a sign about Jessica Sinclair. I did a 6-part series on reunification therapist Jessica Sinclair, who had been lying about having or about to obtain her PhD for like 11 years or more. And in that process, placing children in the arms of abusers or, in the sole custody of the preferred parent, either because they were socially connected or they had money.
Right.
Yeah. Lovely individual. Some of the kids that I interviewed in my 6-part series on Jessica Sinclair had attempted multiple attempts of self-harm and even suicide. So Joanna was one of the victims, her and her children. Horrific story. She's in part 4 on the Jessica Sinclair series. Josh showed up. He's a victim of Thea Reinhardt and Tracy Willis. Thea Reinhardt is currently under investigation. She was involved.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that because I will talk real fast if you don't.
Yeah, when you say with people, no, I don't know who they are, and some people don't know who they are, and so, yeah, because I'd love for you to talk about all that.
Yeah, so to the people watching and listening, please look up my series on Jessica Sinclair. Another person in Orange County, another therapist, is Dr. Thea Reinhardt. She's currently under investigation because of her involvement in the Mogavaro molestation criminal charges and hearing pending right now. And it took this one mom recording the therapist and sending it into the Behavioral Sciences Board to finally investigate this woman when they had received decades of complaints and the BBS did nothing. And so because this mom got recordings, they finally were forced to investigate her, and she's under investigation by a division of the DOJ. Frankly, all of the therapists and custody evaluators in Orange County need to be investigated. Let's see, what else? Who else was there? Another mother who, fleeing domestic violence, went to a hotel with a county hotel voucher, and she had 2 little kids, and one of them was sick and one was in school, and she ran out from the hotel she got with county vouchers just to get food because the kid was sick and couldn't get out of bed. And apparently the hotel manager called the police, and that led to her losing custody of her kids for the last 2 years. It's ridiculous.
All because, wow.
Yes. So she talks about it in the videos, the live videos. She also was at the July 24th protest in front of the Orange County District Attorney's Office. That article is titled Three Courts, One Playbook. And we did a protest against family court, juvenile court, and probate court because they are doing the same thing in family court, juvenile court, and probate court in Orange County. Let's see who else. Dr. Eccles was there. She's a world-renowned child motivational and child related psychologist. I think she's ranked like number 11 or 20 in the world. So she was there. Yeah, she was there speaking out about, separating children from loving, safe parents is not in the child's best interests. And yeah, it was fabulous. People had questions. People were coming out of the court at one point, trickling out a little bit at a time, and saying, "Yeah, I just had my kid taken. Yeah, what's going on here?" And so there were numbers and emails exchanged, and at one point there was some kind of verbal altercation between a disgruntled father and a visitation monitor. I think that's on one of the videos. So that was quite exciting and concerning. Exciting meaning like, just very energy charged. And trying to think who else was there. I think I sent you some pictures. There's a lot on the live. Pulling up pictures so I can. So it was a lot of.
I was going to try to put that. I put a PDF form on it. Let me see if I can drag that PDF and put it on my.
If you can't, that's fine. I mean, I could do postings and.
I was wanting to put it like on. There we go. You can do it.
Genevieve.
Here, I'll share it.
Okay. Genevieve from Ventura drove down again. She was at the July 3-court protest. And all these parents are saying the same thing. They want juries in the court. They want to end all immunity, all judicial immunity, all immunity for minors counsels, therapists, evaluators. They want judges, lawyers, and the same to be investigated. They want cameras in courts. They want jury trials. And it was really exciting. One guy, he has been trying to get someone to listen to him for a very long time. His name is Joaquin Castillo. And he has a bit of a language barrier, and he even, just articulating his point, but he was able to talk about the fact that there was an incident that involved him and his ex-wife where they had an altercation, and the reports are entirely different. They're so drastically different. And then the evidence is not weighed or even looked at, which is, I think, what a lot of parents experience. And that's why we want jury trials, so that a judge can't just ignore evidence or block it from being submitted into evidence. So he was there to talk about that. And then a lot of corruption being discussed, falsifying reports and bias, CPS workers, which I don't think that's new to anybody listening here today. So it was great.
So tell me about the pictures that we're looking at right now.
Okay, so that is, at one point we turned around and faced the courthouse close to lunchtime, thinking that the court staff would break for lunch, which was funny because normally there's a flood of people coming out, and I think that they were avoiding coming out, to be honest with you. So some did come out. Yeah. And so we have several people there: Josh, Dr. Eccles, several impacted parents, mostly moms, but 2 dads. And the 2 dads were victims of Thea Reinhardt and Tracy Willis, minors counsel, Tracy Willis, works for a Children's Center for Law or something in Tustin, I think, and her partners are Lonnie Klein and Cheryl Edgar, and they have a reputation. They have a very long reputation of not protecting children. They act as minors counsels, and I know that there is a civil suit against the law firm going right now.
Yeah.
And I believe Josh and a few other people are going to be filing a lawsuit against Tracy Willis or the law firm. So it was a great day. People were just happy to be heard, to be able to yell out, little chants like end judicial immunity, cameras in courts. It felt empowering. And they were discussing among themselves if they were just going to stand there silently with their signs as a message. And then one of the moms said, "We've been silenced for too long." And so that's why they decided to get loud, respectfully loud, but
right.
So yeah, it was great. It was really great. It was really great. I was really happy people showed up. It is hard to get off from work, and people in this position are borderline, destitute or exhausted or all of the above. So to take any time off of work is difficult.
It is. And that's where I was trying to, let's look at the other pictures.
Sure. This is Joanna Castro. She is in The Victims of Jessica Sinclair Part 4. You can read about her story. It's very horrific. She's was mostly Spanish speaking when her nightmare began with Orange County and Jessica Sinclair, who neglected to tell her that she was a certified translator, and then bullied and made fun of Joanna for her thick Hispanic accent. Joanna didn't know until I went to go write her article that she was actually an interpreter. So all these years later, because this was in 2009, and I mean, she devastated this woman and her children, and like she could barely speak. She was so overwhelmed with emotion from the trauma and horror that she suffered at the hands of Jessica Sinclair.
Wow.
And you can read about that in Jessica Sinclair, The Victims of Jessica Sinclair Part 4.
Oh, I talked to this lady today, right?
Genevieve, yeah. She came down from Ventura.
I loved her. She's so sweet.
Yeah, so she also spoke at the July 24th protest. She's experienced incredible bias and mishandling in her case, and has alleged that because her ex-husband is an informant for law enforcement, he's been given special treatment, and they've overlooked significant abuse, documented abuse, and really retaliated against her. Yeah, so, obviously she drove all the way from Ventura, so to be heard. That's a couple parents there, just more for Orange. The rest, everybody else except for Genevieve was Orange County Family Court, and we were standing right in front of the courthouse, and it was quite interesting and empowering, and
that's awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for being patient with me today with all this technical fun stuff.
No, I think we were both having technical issues.
Oh yeah, I think we all were. It was crazy.
Well, Meg, thank you for doing this. I know you are like me. You're an impacted parent who, a terrorized parent who turned their pain into purpose. So thank you for doing this. I write stories, and you're the on-air personality for all of this. So thank you.
Yeah. So where can people find you, Julie?
I'm on Substack under Julie M. Anderson Holborn. Please come find me. You can do a free subscription, or you can do a monthly or a yearly one if you want. I set all my articles to free because too many times I think that's been part of the problem. First of all, mainstream media doesn't report on this stuff. And then when somebody does report, it's behind a paywall. So I do set my articles to free. And again, that's Substack, Julie M. Anderson Holborn at Substack. I'm on Instagram. I'm on X and Facebook. And my email is at the end of every one of my articles. So if you, I investigate cases involving significant injustice or domestic violence or child abuse or CPS
Awesome.
injustice. So email me, find me and email me.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. We'll chat later, of course, and
Yes.
we hope you have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Have fun.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so we are at the end of this rally, and fun info for you all. I found out Facebook was not doing my live on public, so we didn't have that, and I found out Instagram wasn't really connected finally. So this is actually the first time we're actually all finally live on all platforms. Anyway, so if you missed it, we'll be airing some of this later, but we've had a lot of beautiful, wonderful guests come on, and now we are just opening it up to the public more. I have about 4 people on deck. I did have a lot more people on deck, but they probably pulled out. So just so you guys, you're on deck. I can see your camera. You're going to come in, and I would like to open up the floor for more people. And I want everyone to realize this is the last day we're doing this right as of now, and I would love to share. We need to build the numbers up. If you're on Facebook, please share this. We're trying to show Congress and get the stats up, and I jacked up with all this technology that it wasn't all live. TikTok, you're as well. Please start sharing and hearting and getting this known. We want these stats to show that even though if you couldn't be in person today and protest this week, that you have a voice here, and we are going to show Congress how many people blasted and got on here. So please, if you have any questions, there I can see the chat. I can see Facebook on here, and Stand with Meg. I was able to see Facebook. I don't know what's happening now. We'll see. But first up, let's make sure everything's still, yeah. Okay, first up, we are going to talk. Let me turn off this chat. Hold on, people. I'm sorry. I'm doing this all alone here. All right, we are going to put up with Miss Andrea. Hi, Andrea. How are you? Hold on, I can't hear you. Can't hear you. I don't know why I can't hear you. Let me see. It says we can hear. Nope, can't hear you. Let me go try someone else and see, okay? Let me try someone else and see if their sound's working. Shannon, can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
Ah, there you are. All right, Andrea. Well, I'm on Shannon. Will you please maybe click something? I don't know. Shannon, how did you get the mic going?
I just clicked the bottom. At the very bottom, there's a little microphone.
Little microphone. Hit that, Andrea. I'll come back to you. Where are you from, Shannon?
I am from Wisconsin. So Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. What was that?
My brain is fried. Wisconsin is W what?
ISCONSIN.
No, it's the abbreviation.
Oh, WI.
Why?
WI.
I knew that. Sorry, my brain. I've been on here 8 hours this week.
I get it.
Brain's mush, so I apologize. And that was so funny. I didn't even know what the abbreviation for Wisconsin was.
And I apologize for my appearance. It's been a heck of a day, and I didn't expect to do this, but I'm super glad that I am. So glad that I am.
Glad you joined, and I saw, but no, do not worry about your appearance. Do not. You look beautiful. You can even turn toward the light. Like if you want to turn toward the light, we can see your face better.
Right,
if you don't behind you, I get that too. You're fine. So tell me about yourself.
So I'm a mom of 6 beautiful kids. They range from 28 all the way down to 5 years old. So I'm a crazy lady. And
yeah, you are.
Yeah, my case is a special one in the sense that I was actually on a status hearing today and was told I have no hope. So
Wow.
my 3 middle kids, one's 19, one's 18, will be 18 next week. And then I have my 13-year-old that is the major problem. Our case has been going on since 2017. It's been back and forth between him and I. He is a true narcissist to every sense of the word. I've even been diagnosed with PTSD from all of his trauma that he's given me. And the kids. My oldest son, the 19-year-old, actually did a capstone for his senior project talking about his father and being a narcissist and what the narcissistic abuse has caused him. That's on my TikTok. Actually, the whole thing is on my TikTok. But the saddest hearing today,
Okay, cool. Good to know.
yeah. So, and it's Follow the Maze Clan on TikTok is my handle. But
you connect your channel so that it can be on there live.
Yeah, I think I can. I don't know how to exactly do that, but we'll figure it out.
If you look at the top, it should like channel so people can see
Oh.
this on more platforms as well.
Okay, I can do that. But what's been happening recently? Oh, that just did something. What's been happening recently? So, a year and a half ago, he was given primary custody with impasse authority, so he could decide everything.
Yeah.
And it was forced through the guardian ad litem who hasn't done any good for any of us, any of my kids, doesn't listen to anything and completely sides with him all the time. But the huge kicker, I hadn't talked to my 17, almost 18-year-old for 2 years. He kept him from me. Eli wouldn't come home. It was insane. But as of July 14th, Addie showed up at my door. My 13-year-old showed up at my door at 10 o'clock at night with her brother. Well, midnight, whatever. The other one was midnight, but showed up at my door and said, "Mom, I'm home and I'm never going back. I can't stand him. He's horrible. He's mean. He's abusive. All of these things." I went to the guardian ad litem and I said, "Hey, my kid's here." Like the next day, "My kid is here. She's home. Well, I need to talk to her." Took her 2 weeks to set up an appointment to even talk to her. 2 weeks. She's still at my house. That right before that happened, Eli, the 18-year-old, showed up at my door as well and said, "Mom, I'm done now too. I'm home." So I thought, hey, this is going to be great. My kids are home.
Right.
And you know what's happening? No, they're telling me I have to send them back.
Wow.
They need to be there. They need to be with them, with him. I can't send her to school where I live. I've got to send her to school in Adams, which is a town 45 minutes away. And if I want to keep her, I have to drive her there to take her there. Even when my daughter is saying, absolutely no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be with him. It's to the point now where there's so many working pieces, but the courts won't listen to a word of any of it. The commissioner today on our call, because it was a Zoom call, on the call said, "I don't have time for this. I'm a part-time commissioner. I don't have time to hear this. My order stands," and didn't even want to listen to anything. Wouldn't make a temporary order, which we've had 1,012,000. We've been in and out of court every 6 months. And they allow him to continue to do this, to continue to take me to court and to continue to take my kids away and make it to where I can't see them. And now I have them and they're still trying to take them away from me and won't listen to a word I have to say.
So that's kind of what, we're all dying. All the stories are very similar, and I've heard thousands of stories.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's so sick how bad this is, and I am so proud of people like you that are standing up and telling your story and not being afraid. I don't know if you saw my video yesterday.
Oh, I'm afraid.
Okay, you're afraid, yeah.
I'm afraid, but it needs to be said. We all need to stand up, and it needs to be said.
It does, and that's where we need, and that's why I tried to be for people, for the voiceless. If you're scared right now to share somebody else that's sharing their story online. I want everyone that's brave enough to speak out to get blown up. I want them to have so many followers, because it's not about the followers, it's about the noise, right?
Right.
And you coming on today and telling your stories, let someone else maybe has a similar story not feel alone. I have the GAL story, right? So thank you for coming on. I really would love if you could share my Facebook or whatever platforms you are on, so that we could, I'm not getting paid for this at all. I've been on, I was on for 3 hours yesterday and I made $1.30.
Right.
This is not about money for me. This is about people knowing I've had to learn to be on all platforms. So right now, guys, we are on X, we're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Now you can share live. It's funny. The last one we were on, they're like, I can't see you on the Facebook. And I'm like, oh, it's because it wasn't public. And then we're on TikTok. Is on my phone right here, and TikTok doesn't get really high unless I'm engaging with them. And so right now there's only 14 people. So let's go Facebook. Come on, Instagram. Let's start sharing some love. TikTok is really good about spreading the news. So thank you for coming on. I'm going to switch you on over. Is that you or me? I don't want to make sure I'm getting some.
I don't know. Now, to add my channel, do I just go to the top afterwards?
Well, why don't we do it real quick while you're here? So change your name. Oh, add your channel. Yeah, do that real quick. And then add that, and then we can bring you back in real quick. But change your name to your social media too, because everyone was trying to ask me what your handle was. So if you guys do have a handle and you want to come in, put the handle in your name, but I also want the state you're in. All right, so we're going to move on. I'll just say in if you want to. I'll be back.
Okay.
Andrea, can I hear you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we did it! You did it! How are you, girl? Where are you? What state are you from?
I'm in Utah.
Utah. That is you. What is that? You edit name. What's the abbreviation?
UT.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew that. My brain is literally bleh. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your story, girl.
So, my son was only about a month old. Okay. His name is Noah Silas. And talking about this is a little hard for me. So I'm going to be a little bit.
You don't need to go into the details. I want just kind of the meat and potatoes because I know what it's like to tell the story of my story. I'll start crying.
So I'll probably go into details because it's so complex that there is really, that is the meat and potatoes. But so basically what happened was after I brought him home from the hospital, I got a text message from a woman, and I'm just going to say her name, okay, because this woman ruined my life. Her name was Jane York, and she told me that she was out of Payson, Utah with the Welcome Baby program. And she messaged my phone saying that she would like to just come and do a home visit, that this was something that they were doing for all the new babies that had been born, and I thought that seemed a little bit strange, she said, oh yeah, we're just coming to do a little usual little check and things like that, but it's for all babies in the hospital. And at first I said no. I said, no, thank you. I'm not interested. Please delete my number from your phone because it seems so odd. A week later, she messaged me again, and I didn't respond. I didn't say anything. A third text message came about a third week out, and from that initial text. And so finally I said, okay, that's fine. Go ahead. We can schedule a time to have you come over, And she was all excited about it. And so she comes over, and and my house was, of course, spotless, except for a small pile of Legos on the living room floor. And the first thing she said to me is, oh, don't worry about the Legos. It's not like I'm here to report you to CPS or anything like that. That's not why I'm here. And I thought that was really strange, that a complete stranger, the first thing that she said when she came into my house was, oh, don't worry about the Legos. It's just a little pile of Legos. Aside from that, everything in my home seemed perfectly fine. Well, my son's upstairs taking a nap, and she goes,
how old is your son?
Now he's
then.
At that point, he was only a month old.
Okay.
Perfectly healthy, nothing wrong with him whatsoever. And she goes, can I see your son? Just so I can weigh him. And this was a healthy 8-pound, 14-ounce baby. And I go, sure, I guess so. She even brought me a quilt. She brought me this nice quilt for him and everything. So at this point, I'm thinking, oh, everything's fine. This is just a home warming gift. And she had me sign a piece of paper. But anyways, I get the baby, she weighs my son, and she goes, oh my gosh, And I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And she goes, how much did he weigh when he was born? I go, I think he was 8 pounds. And she goes, and again, this was like 18 pounds, 14 ounces around there. I don't have the actual documents with me, but he was over 8 pounds and he was a month old. And she goes, he's not gaining weight. And I go, what are you talking about? I said, he's only 3 weeks old. I go, don't babies lose weight and then put it back on after they're initially brought home from the hospital, especially when they're, when they're breastfeeding? I thought that was a normal thing, because the thing is my older son, the same thing happened to him after a few months. We fed him, he lost a little bit of weight when I initially brought him home from the hospital.
Yeah.
And then he gained it all back.
So what happened then? So she's claiming that he lost weight, and then what?
So she goes, this is a problem. And I go, okay, well, as his mother, I'm concerned, I'll take him to his pediatrician today. And so that's what I did. I took him to his pediatrician, and she's just looking at him and, checking him out. And I got the feeling that she had went before me and contacted his pediatrician before I had the chance to, because his pediatrician goes, oh yeah, he's real lethargic.
Did she have access to knowing that information? Knowing the doctor? Did you tell her who your doctor, the pediatrician, was?
Yes, I did. And I probably shouldn't have told her, but the thing is I wanted her to know, yes, he has a pediatrician,
Well, but also too, you have to think about it. The hospital should have record of where the pediatrician is, because usually you can't leave the hospital unless you have a pediatrician down. So she could have gotten
yes. So anyway, so that same day I took him into
the pediatrician is saying, yes, he's losing weight. You're seeing some conspiracy. What happened? How many days later did they take your son? What?
So this is exactly what happened. I took him into the pediatrician that same day. His pediatrician was like, oh no, he looks dehydrated. And I look at him and I see that there's a bunch of spit bubbles around his mouth, and he doesn't look flush. He doesn't look pale. He's not crying. He's not screaming, nothing. And she said, you need to take him to the ICU or the emergency room right now. And I go,
fever or anything?
No fever, nothing. Absolutely nothing wrong with my child. He was perfectly healthy. But of course, as a parent, I'm like, okay, geez, I'm panicked. But before I leave his pediatrician, I say, can I please have a weight chart? Because apparently this is what they're telling me, that he's underweight for his age. And I look at the weight chart, and for his age group, because there's a comparison, they've got a Venn chart that compares weight by age. He wasn't underweight for his age. He was only a month old and he was over 8 pounds. So I'm leaving his pediatrician wondering why I'm even having to take him to the hospital. But as a parent, I don't want to be neglectful.
Right.
She specified. She said, take him into Timpanogos Regional Hospital. I said, why do I have to take him there? Can I take him anywhere else? She goes, no. You have to take him specifically to Timpanogos Regional Hospital. Again, I thought this was very strange, because why not? Why can't I take him somewhere else? Why does it have to be that hospital? Right. Anyways, we go to the hospital and they are poking and prodding away at him. Okay. And it's basically, I don't know what kinds of tests they're running, but I just remember my little month-old child screaming, and crying because this nurse couldn't even get his vein. Right. And so, okay, well, we're going to admit him. And so I said, all right. So my friend agreed to babysit my other kids while I stayed in the hospital with him for 4 days. Okay. And the entire time I was in the hospital with my son, all they had me do was bottle feed him. They didn't have him on a ventilator. They weren't running panels on him, nothing. He was just laying in one of those little light incubators. He wasn't hooked up to anything, not even an IV, nothing. He was just
laying in there. You're giving them a bottle and they're not doing anything.
Yeah, nothing. They were just watching me formula feed him for 4 days straight, nothing else. And I was giving him the recommended amount on the, whatever amount I was supposed to feed him, following the instructions on the formula can, everything. And then when his doctor discharged us, he said, okay, just go home. And I go, that's it? We've been here for 4 days and you're not going to give me any follow-up instructions. And at this point, I'm starting to catch on to the fact that something isn't quite right.
Right.
Because he was like, nope, just go home. I said, you're not going to have me even switch his formula to something a little bit, a little bit more fatty, anything. He goes, nope, you can just go home. I said, really? No follow-up instructions, nothing. Nope, just go home, take him home, keep feeding him. And so that's what I did. I took him home and I continued to feed him for about 1 or 2 weeks. And before I knew it, CPS showed up at my door and they removed my kids. They said, we have to take your son. And I go, why? What have I done? I haven't done anything wrong. And so I got him back pretty fast at that point, because lucky for me, I had an attorney that helped me out and things like that, a pro bono attorney. But anyhow, and I'm not gonna say everybody else's names. And
wait, girl, I want you to tell your whole story, but we have a lot of people that want to talk. So I want you to tell me what's going on now. They took your poor little baby completely wrong. And he's 7 now?
Yeah, so he's 7 now. But at that point, after they returned my kids, they said, we took him to the doctors and we did confirm, after all, that he had gained weight since you brought him home from the hospital. So they admitted to me. They admitted to me that they had taken him into the hospital after removing him from my home, only to confirm that he had gained weight since my hospital stay with my child. And since then, it's basically just been people calling CPS on me for the littlest things. Both of my kids' dads are narcissistic, and it's caused a lot of trouble. And as of currently, I don't have custody of my kids, and I'm working towards getting them back. But they've abused my rights so much.
It's a constant struggle where it's there. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. So, yeah, and you're not alone. And that's one reason when I'm trying to get all of us to DC to get this act, this Family Accountability Act in. And my prayer is that, and that's all I really care about, is get this act in to protect our children. Because right now, as you guys will see right here, is an example of no matter, they can do whatever they want and say whatever they want to say about you, and your children are gone. And then you have a constant
and they never leave you alone.
No.
That's the other problem.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Well,
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just had to say,
no, you're fine. You're fine. No, I mean, right. So thank you for coming on. Sorry, I'm trying to get back to your picture. I was trying to see what's going on with everybody else. I'm so tired of the windows. Okay. Thanks for coming on. And what state are you from again? You're in Utah, right? Let me take off this thing. Anyone in Utah?
Yes.
Guys, one thing you guys need to do is always band together in your state. Don't go to court by yourself. Be there with each other, because the more you get loud, the more we get bigger, the better. And more they're like, well, we can't control her because of that posse behind her, right? So that's where I'm really encouraging people to get together in your own state. Thank you so much for coming on, Andrea. And I pray that you get through there, start learning your own pro se, start learning how to take care of everything. And I'll be praying for your kids. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, girl. See you later. All right, next up, Holly's back again. She was on yesterday. We're going to bring Shanna in real quick because she was already on. Hey, and she connected her channels, and she's speaking up, trying to be loud. And she's followed the May Clan. And she's with Wisconsin. Anyone here from Wisconsin? Can we get some states going, anybody? Can we get some states? Can we put your states in the chat box? Even TikTok, we want people to follow each other, and we want you guys to connect with each other. This is how we change, as we get big. And share. Please share this video. Please share her. Go follow her on her
Mhm.
platform. What platforms are you majority on?
That and Facebook, but I didn't know, I couldn't get my Facebook to connect, but it's just Shannon Diane on Facebook.
Yes, I would want everyone to get big. Thank you for coming on, and I'm glad you connected, and go share. And later I will replay this so you can take your own video and go post it by yourself. Okay?
So, quick question. How do I start? Like, that's like my biggest question, because I don't know how to start to fight the courts. Like, what's the best first step? And because right now I have an attorney. She's not the greatest, to be honest. Like, she's not doing anything for me. I'm thinking about going pro se, and I don't know
So the
how
first
to
step
take
I would
that step.
do, what I say, and again, I'm not an attorney. Let me put up my
I know.
disclaimer. I'm not an attorney. I do not give any legal advice. Where is my? Oh, I can't find it. I'll get it in a second. I do not give any legal advice. I will say the best thing you can do is go to courtlistener.com and start reading cases in your federal courts that have already gone through due process. If you have access to any of your appellate court cases, go read those. You know, I go on my Kansas one, and I just found one in June that got done in Supreme Court of Kansas, where they said that this mother's rights were, there was no due process and she lost her kids. So go reading those things will really help.
Okay.
And also I tell people, when you find cases that would that maybe that's similar to yours, copy and put on a doc. And just collect that. That is one thing I've learned, is just to read. And in federal court at courtlistener.com, if they dismiss or they say no, take the motion out or say nope, you can't have this, the judge tells them exactly what they did wrong. Well, you didn't state this. Well, you didn't state that. Because people need to realize judges are there supposed to interpret the law.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. Until we get a bill passed like this in federal courts, it didn't matter, right? And a judge can decide whatever he wants to do. I have solid evidence, and I've worked my tail off. I'm going to be a licensed attorney next year, and I know my stuff now because I've studied. And it didn't matter. It still didn't matter, because a judge can decide whatever he wants, and that's why we need to start rallying bigger. And but I would say the first thing, you usually, when you're starting, you can go ask for all your information, but usually you can't do that if you have an attorney. But if you decide to go pro se, ask for all your information. Legally wise, asking for your, you want all the email change, you want this, you want that. Ask for all of that with the therapist, reunification therapist, psychiatrist, doctors, everybody involved in your case, GALs. That is the first step. And when you start doing that, they're going to get scared because they know that you might know your rights.
Sounds good. So, I appreciate that.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, I'm going to do Andrea Rivera because she was waiting for a while. Hi, Andrea. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. What? I saw you signed up a couple times, so I apologize. We had the team, and we're just
That's
one
okay.
mom. One mom has no internet here and there, and the other one's working.
Yeah,
so we're going to all
fine. Yeah, that's okay. So
tell me what's going on.
I've been trying to fight for my children since 2023. CYFD has denied me rights to my children. My kids right now are in 6 hours away from me, and they're in separate homes, and I have 4 children in CYFD right now. They're in foster care, and
wow.
I've asked my lawyers, and the GAL wants to adopt out my children, and I've been trying to fight it because I have rights to my children. They're not helping me in any which way, and no one's listening. Let me see. I'm trying to, but my family's that's been trying to help me, and stuff like that. And we're all upset and frustrated about what's going on, and I've been asking my attorney and looking for an attorney, and they won't take my case because it's too much, because of how much stuff has been going on for the last 2 years. And I've done everything on the treatment plan that they've asked. So, sorry, I'm kind of nervous. Sorry. So in 2023, on my daughter's first birthday, my son fell in the back of my vehicle, and I got charged with 3 felonies, and he didn't get hurt at all. He was we were at a stop sign, and let me see. Hold on, I'm trying to. My son's ADHD, so got out of the seat, and let me see. Hold on. Sorry.
Door open.
And the hatch opened. Okay, and then
But it was at a stop.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. I'm nervous.
You're fine. Relax.
Okay.
Take a big breath. Wiggle on out. Come on. You're fine. You're fine. It's fine. Let's go.
Okay.
We got this. That's the one thing I want people to know. If you are scared to start telling your truth, you know what? Just get on and do it. You're going to mess up. Who cares? You know how many times I've made videos and I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just posting it. And that's okay. We're humans.
Yeah.
And we're a mess because our children are being affected.
Yes, exactly.
And we're not perfect.
And I've tried to
You know
get
what?
my children
I went
back.
on and didn't have makeup on or a filter, and someone said I had a meth problem because I have staph on my face because I'm so stressed because my kids are gone. So, girl, do not worry. Big breath. How many children do you have?
I have 4 children.
4. And how many are with you and not with you?
I have none with me at the moment.
And you said 2 are where?
2 are in 2 hours away, and 2 of my other children are 6 hours away because there's no foster home in New Mexico.
Because they're in 2 different homes.
They're in 2 different homes, and there's no foster homes in New Mexico, is what they said. So they're 6 hours away.
Why is there no foster homes there?
I don't even know. Like in New Mexico, they're receiving children, is what my caseworker said, that they're receiving kids in what are they? Not in homes, in
Group homes.
and like in group homes and in offices, little babies and stuff.
Yes,
and she said that she has 33 children on her caseload, and they're not giving any help, and they're not trying to get the kids back. And I have a.
Nope.
Let me see. I'm trying to.
Hey, Miranda, what did I say that you didn't want me to repeat? Yes, Julie, I agree with you. Wait a minute, guys. We're going to have Judge come on, Christina Miller. She's an attorney that's now exposing this corruption. She'll be on pretty soon. So let's see. Andrea,
Yes.
Yeah, you need to email your legislators, tell them your story. You know,
Yes.
have you done?
And I have
Good.
done that, and they're not
Good.
getting
I
back
know
to
you
me.
have. I've done it millions of times. New Mexico needs to step up and start doing what Arizona's doing, but none of this is going to work, and we're never going to get our children back. No one cares until we get these bills changed and the federal changed. And so I thank you for coming on and speaking your truth and share. And if you see someone else that's posting about this corruption, please share. I don't make any money on TikTok because when I share, I get booted. If I do 5 people shares within a month, I get booted out of making anything. So I don't make any money, which is totally fine because it's not about money; it's about sharing.
Yeah.
So
I'm
so proud of you for coming on. We have a lot of people coming in, and I am proud of you. And I will be praying for your 4 kids and that they will get back to their mamas and back together. So thank you so much for coming on, girl.
Thank you.
We'll talk later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so let me turn her off. We will have Judge come on. Thank you for the comments, guys. We're going to start building up the more people are sharing this. TikTok I'm not focusing on TikTok, but TikTok I can usually get up to over 100 people views. Facebook is not very good at sharing lives, either is Instagram. So if you guys could share, I did love how everyone started putting their states. Last girl, it was the very end of the last girl you were talking about when you asked for everything from the Guardian and lied them. Yes. So what you guys can do, and I'm not an attorney at all, but you can always ask for your information. That's your right to ask for all your information. And they won't do it. And when you do it, they won't. I mean, I'm still fighting to get my information, and it's my right. But it will show them that you're not going to be bulldozed anymore. And I actually need to check up on that. I just have so much stuff in. But and here's the other thing: if you ever want to go and sue them, when you ask that question, you ask for your right, you ask for your documentation. That's just another, and they say no or ignore you. That's just another evidence that you've tried to get your information. So, when you're filing the complaints against your judges or the attorneys, file complaints against the attorneys, you should be doing 3 total or more. That is just another example of, hey, I've been trying to get some help. I'm trying to tell my legislators and no one's listening. And it's kind of like you're building a pattern, you're building a case. And that's kind of what I meant by that. So thank you. Let me see. I wanted to get, Let's do Holly real quick because I wanted to know what or Jessica. Holly, what are you doing back here, Holly?
Hey, how you doing?
You're back.
Yes, I'm back.
Did you see the video I made about you?
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much.
I tried to tag you, but I didn't know where you were. So please, I'll tag you if you just send it to me.
Yes, thank you. I really, really appreciate anything that y'all are doing to try and help me, and I'm here to help everyone else try and get our kids back.
And Holly's in North Carolina. I tagged North Carolina, but I couldn't remember what county you were in. But I'm doing like 5 million things a day. So
Yeah, I feel you.
but I loved it. You made me cry, and I still love that. So share.
Yes, I am. I'm doing as much as I can. Someone will hear us eventually.
Yep. Do you want to say anything? Or you just want to come on and say hi and you miss me?
I just want to say hi and see you and see everybody else and tell y'all to keep fighting. Something's going to change eventually if we just keep fighting together.
How did you feel after doing that and going over? How did you feel after you standing up and going and holding up those protest signs?
I felt a lot better because I didn't chicken out and just leave like I usually would have, because I get scared and I make myself leave because I don't want to look stupid. But I'm not looking stupid. I'm fighting for my kids, and anything I can do to fight for my kids is always something I'm proud of.
And that's one question I love to ask people when they're starting to learn themselves, like when they learn to go to read their statutes and their laws in their state. All of a sudden, I've had so many people go like, Meg, oh my gosh, Meg, they did this to me. This is not right. I'm like, yeah. And then they start realizing how much they're getting scammed, and they start learning their rights. And then out of nowhere, they get this backbone, and you don't feel so victimized,
Yes.
And we're feeling like we are getting completely, can I say or zapped, graped? What's it called? Graped all the time. And we can't, and there are children. And so you feeling that powerful, that is how you encourage people. Say, look, that you don't feel so, your PTSD is not as bad when you just start cleaning up and knowing you're getting your voice out. So I was so proud of you yesterday. I keep telling everyone, go look at that video. I was so proud of her. She got so
Thank you. And then to hear that guy that when he got out of his truck, he said, I'm here for similar reasons, because he's tired of it. So it made me feel better.
And that's why people, when they start getting public on it and start spamming, you'll get tons of messages. I know some people that have finally went public, and then I've been helping them sharing their stuff because they're telling their story. And all of a sudden, like, we're getting tons of messages. And when you help somebody, you get healed and you then get stronger. And so, so I am so proud of you, Holly girl.
And my best friend, we went back up there again with the signs, and we took them and we stuck them in the ground in front of the courthouse, and we left them there. And we took pictures in front of the courthouse with them stuck in the ground.
Good girl. Share that picture.
I will. I definitely will.
I want to get everybody's picture that did that. And I'm still going to go do it at my courthouse, even though I didn't get to go to mine, but I'm going to do it. You know how many videos I have of me in my courthouse going, oh yeah, you little, thank you. You're my dollars.
Yeah,
I'm paying you to put my children away.
Yeah, exactly. So give us them back. We'll pay you 10 times more.
Exactly. Like I always tell people, this is my favorite quote. I'm going to say it a million times. When the people fear the government, there's tyranny. What does tyranny mean? Chaos. There's control. But when the government fears the people, there's freedom.
Yes. Complete freedom.
And the government needs to be scared of us because there's way more of us. It's like the ants from the bugs, right?
Right. United we stand, divided we fall.
Amen. Amen to that. Give me chills, Holly. You got a gift.
That's why they took it out of the schools, because they don't want us to think on that level. They want us to feel like we're all separated.
Yep. Amen. All right. I'm going to move on. Love ya. See you later.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right. Who's up? I think Jessica, you're not doing your camera. If you've already been on, if you guys could log off so that other people can come in, because I'm only allowed to have 10 people on. Oh, there's Christine Miller. We're going to have her come on. Are you guys ready for this lady? Are you ready? Are you ready for Judgy Judge? Sorry, I'm getting all excited now because Judgy Judge is coming. Okay, let me put her in. I was going to play some rock music. Can I play some rock music for you? What's your favorite song, Christine?
I love me some Tom Petty.
Tom Petty!
Yeah.
Oh, I can take off this disclaimer now because you are an attorney.
But I am not giving legal advice.
No, you're not. But you have to still be careful because you're being watched just like I am.
Oh, you better believe I'm being watched. Yeah. It's getting out of control, actually.
It is. I need to turn off my light. Give me 1 second. Go ahead and announce yourself while I go turn off this yellow light on my face, and so that people can know where to follow you, what handles and all that. Give me 1 second.
Awesome. Yeah. Hey, I'm Christine. I have Judgy. We are creating an app. It will be an app soon. Right now, it is a website. It is judge-y.com. We are going to be a directory for judges. I am an attorney. I was a public defender and then criminal attorney, 15 years, never had a bar complaint, and started talking about the problems in family court about 2 years ago. 6 weeks ago, there's something on my computer. Teamed up with Hugh Barrow, who is also a former divorce attorney, and we have the Judge Mental podcast. We talk about the problems in family court in Louisville, like everyone else. And I know this was naive, but we really thought it was a Louisville problem. I'm in Orange County right now, and I'll tell you, Meg, I've never seen anything like it.
Yes, and I don't know if you guys know, we were both on the Love Doc podcast, and that's how we met. And we still love Dr. Sarah. She's a sweet girl.
Yes.
We still on a little chat group. We have our own little thing. And that was a wonderful experience to meet Christine. And she looked over my divorce decree. And she's a wonderful speaker. And her heart is pure. And I love her. And please go follow her. She even has a billboard up of her. She's so gorgeous in the billboard. I love the billboard. Still blown away by that. Okay, so tell me about your Judgy Judge.
So Judgy will be an app. Hopefully we'll launch here soon, but we are gathering. As you know, I've been in this space for almost 2 years, but Hugh is so new to it. And he really wish, and that's my partner with Judgy and the Judgmental podcast. We've gotten thousands and thousands of messages, and we're just really trying to figure out where to put them all and look for patterns. But Judgy is going to be an app and a directory. It will allow attorneys verified to review on the back end anonymously, so attorneys can tell the truth. But more importantly, litigants can review, and then court watchers. And that way, when you go in front of a judge, you'll be able to know, hey, this is how this judge rules. This is what's going on. And just try to create a community where we can be separate from it, and the people that are in front of these judges can get together and talk about what that judge is doing, good, bad, and different.
Have you looked at the Francesca bill at all?
I have. Yeah, I have. I've looked at it, and it's like, this is the hardest part about being in this space. And as you know, like I'm in Orange County right now, talking to a ton of survivors.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I want to hear about that too. Yes,
Yeah.
ahead, sorry.
No, a ton of survivors in family court. And it's, it's a difficult space for me because the whole thing I'm trying to say is that I'm not qualified to make these decisions. Like, I'm not qualified to tell people how to live their lives. I'm not a therapist. And so you get this trauma dump, and I'm not complaining about it because obviously I'm not a victim of family court in the same way that litigants are at all. But the only thing I know, back to her bill, is how to fix this is to do it through the legislature and to have these judges hold the judges accountable, make sure they're working full time, make sure they're following the law. Stop immediately with these nonsense bullshit. I hope it's okay that I cursed. Custodial evaluators, GALs, FOCs, court ordered therapy. It's nonsense. It is nonsense.
Mm-hmm. It is. And that's why, like, right now, if everyone's like wants to learn to pro se, I go, yeah, you can learn to be pro se, but nothing's happening right now because the judges can rule everything. There's no immunity. They get to do whatever they want. No accountability. No one auditing them. And when I met Christine, she was the one that taught. Tell us about how family court started in Kentucky. Weren't you guys the very first ones to start family court?
Well, we weren't the actual first ones, but we are the national model for a lot of places. Okay. We were the first ones to really get big, and we have the one court, one family model, which I know you just said your favorite quote, which I absolutely love, about the government should fear its people. My favorite quote is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I do think that, I struggle in this space sometimes because there are a lot of nefarious players, but it's not everyone. There's just a lot of complacency, and there's a lot of keeping the system going. Like, it's people that, and there's no accountability. Like the fact that you say there's no jury trials, there's no and you being pro se, people that are pro se, they're up against their exes or significant other or the father or mother of their child's attorney. But there's also custodial evaluators with immunity, GALs with immunity, FOCs with immunity. And I could go on and on. It's wild.
And then, like, in my situation,
but I do love her bill.
Go ahead, what?
Mm-hmm. No, I was going to say, I do love her bill.
Oh, yeah.
I love her bill. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. A lot of people are like, well, it won't happen. It won't work. I like it, but it's not going to work. And, here's my opinion on it. It might not go through, right? But that doesn't mean we can't try. Are we just going to sit back? Mm-hmm. I mean, just like women's rights, we had to fight for that. We can't just sit back and expect it. And so, yeah, maybe it won't go through this time, but it will go through because we're getting louder and people are getting mad. And what I was going to say was, it's funny when I went and looked at my state laws about the GAL, there's no requirements in these. They literally said the GAL is allowed to do pretty much whatever he wants. There's no like, this is this rule, this is this rule, no, there's nothing. The GALs have no laws or anything to go like to follow. And it's absurd to me. Now you're frozen. Maybe I'm frozen. Am I frozen? You're frozen. You're frozen. I'm talking to myself. Sometimes I don't know if it's her internet or it's my internet. I don't know. Maybe we're getting a lot of people come in. I don't know. Maybe she'll come back. We'll bring someone else in. Oh, there she is. She's back. There you are. Sorry. Where did I lose
No
you?
worries. No, but you said there's no requirements in your state for a GAL?
Yeah, there's no like, well, you have to do this by this. You have to decide this by this. You have to do this. There's nothing besides just do what's good for the kids.
Right. And no one ever asked the question. So, like, everything in family court is always going to come back to this best interest of the child. And what best interest of the child is defined in Kentucky is going to be different than Missouri, different than Kansas, different than California, but essentially the same thing, right? But no one ever asked the question, is family court in the best interest of children? Because it ain't.
Right.
Mhm. I mean, we
Yeah.
are destroying families. I was telling this story yesterday, years of criminal experience, represented people charged with crimes, heinous crimes. I have so many positive stories from my experience as a public defender where people got clean, they got sober, they got better, they got their kids back, like they got treatment. I can't think of one positive story from family court in 10 years where the system worked. Not one. Mhm.
And I think that is what I love, that you're exposing it, because this is not a personal thing for you, right? So you're very level-headed. You're not this, mom that like could be like me that's just blah. No, it's like you're getting solid facts. It's funny, we've been doing a few stats on some of my forums. I should read some to you. While I go get those, can you talk about the rally today and what's it like being? So she lives in Kentucky, but she got to go all the way to, where are you? And where are you? Orange County.
Orange County.
I don't know California that well. I've only been since I was a kid.
Orange County.
So she went and got to go to the rally today. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just wild to be down here in California, and I don't want to, I want to be very careful because I'm not trying. I understand I'm an attorney. I'm not trying to step on anyone else's space. I just want to see what happens. And the thing that's so shocking to me is the fact that y'all don't have, or California does not have cameras in the courtroom. I don't think
No,
you
that
have
was
cameras in the
something else
courtroom
I
where
wanted to
you
talk
are.
about. You were the first person that told me that there were cameras in Kentucky, and I was like, that's not happening in Missouri or Kansas. And that is on the bill. Yes, you're right. So they don't have it at all in Orange County.
Yeah. And I didn't know literally until I stepped into the space and started talking about the problems that I thought were central to Louisville. I didn't realize other places didn't have it. And like Hugh is, my partner, and he's coming from like behind in the sense of like getting involved in this advocacy. He was unaware there weren't cameras in courtrooms, but I've never seen these stories. It makes it so hard for us to verify. And I think it's by design, because we can't like in Kentucky, I can go get the report, or not the report, the recording. Right. And so you can see in real time. And if you follow me on TikTok, Kentucky Christine, I show what's happening. And California is the second largest state that our podcast is downloaded in, because I think of the crisis that is no cameras in courtrooms and no court reporters. But Meg, I'll tell you, this courthouse I went to in Orange County, we were in Orange County, right? Like life of luxury. This courthouse was basically empty. The only thing, the biggest crisis, did you know the biggest crisis facing Californians, according to this courthouse, is the fact that that people shouldn't record anything in a court. There are signs everywhere. No recordings, no live streaming. You'll be arrested. I mean, this is against penal code. It's just like, it was basically like going to Cambodia. Like, in what world in the United States do we not have transparency within the third branch of government?
I know. No, I agree with you. And I think that's what, if you go first off, before I forget this, Kristen makes the best videos. I love her content. She's hilarious. I love her accent. So you guys gotta go follow her. But one thing that, one of the videos I just posted was a mom was yesterday in her car, and she was at the protest and no one was there, right? But she had her signs. And she was like, well, I'm actually right. The court's right here. And I was like, she's like, but I'm scared to get out. And I'm like, get out of the car. We're all here. And I'm like, we have like 50 people on TikTok. We got this. We're all with you. And I just started crying because it breaks my heart that we're in a situation to where we are scared to stand in front of the same court system that we are paying for. What?
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, and you better believe they'll retaliate against you. I mean, they've retaliated against me as an attorney for speaking out.
And that's what, it makes me sick to the sense. So, okay, one thing I was trying to pull it up and I finally found it. So we have only 139 people have it. So if you guys want to go to the forum, we have this forum, it's an intake form. I need to know, Steph, I need to put that on my website. But it's pretty much just an intake form. First touch, we want to know. You go to my website, but we've got 139 people fill out this form. I don't know where it's at, guys. Sorry. But we have this graph and it says, how many of years have you been involved in family court? 46% is 5+ years.
Mm-hmm.
And then, do you currently have custody of your children? Out of 138 responses, 50% say no. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
How many children are attached to one person? Let's just say 2 kids, maybe the average, how many kids is that? Because it's insane to me. Are you pro se? 50% are pro se. Yes. Have you ever had an attorney in your case? Yeah, of course. Everyone, almost 71% had an attorney. And then the other ones were like in the past, but not now, blah, blah, blah. But the stats that we accidentally got, my team made this and sent it out and I didn't even know it, as like, oh my gosh, this is insane. And I think that is one thing that you are trying to expose, all of that.
Yes.
Correct?
Absolutely. At least when I practiced criminal law, there was finality. Like you could do even if you pled guilty, you could do your time and it would be over. But you see, and if you watched my podcast with Matt Grant, and I think he was on your show yesterday or the day before, but like it's just constantly moving the carrot and these people are getting trapped up in this system and they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars into all these idiots. I mean, for lack of a better term, these custodial evaluators, it's complete and utter bullshit. And they're bankrupting families. And then you have attorneys and, I don't have, as you know, I don't have children, but you have all these GALs that don't have kids that are living vicariously through other people's children, simultaneously depleting their down payment on a house, a college education, etc. And it's just make it make sense.
Right. Exactly. I love your mic, by the way. I want one. Where'd you get that? That's cool. I don't have any money right now, but when I hopefully get some money one day, I'm making a mic like that. That's cool.
Oh my gosh, you made this. He 3D printed it. Yeah.
Oh, he did. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he's so handy.
Okay. That is so cool. Okay, I was gonna see. There was something else I'm talking about. My brain is mush, like completely flat out mush.
Oh no, I bet.
I had this great thing I was going to talk to you about when you were talking about that. And it just went out of my brain. I need to eat. I need to get off. So what is so are you just having on, so people need to go follow her, go watch her stuff. She actually walks and goes to the courthouse during the day to see actually how many judges are working. That was genius.
Yes.
Loved it. Loved that.
Oh, judicial roll call. Yeah. And someone needs to do that in Orange County because this courthouse was essentially empty.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. When you were talking about all the cameras and all the signs and all this, we had a woman last week, like go and had she had a link on an event. She made an event on Facebook. She goes there with some people went with her and they wouldn't let anyone in the courtroom with her during her hearing at all. She would be by herself and she was pro se. And then a cop was threatening to arrest the people that were taking pictures in the hallway in Florida. And it's like, what is the deal? And I'm just.
Yeah. It's almost like, this has been really kind of like pivotal for me being out here because I don't know any of the players. Like in Louisville, like when I go to the courthouse that I practiced in for a decade, like the bailiffs are like, what's up? And I mean, I have a lot of friends there and most of the attorneys are supportive. But then when I read these bills from attorneys here, when I saw the attorneys, when I saw the judges, when I see what's happening to moms and dads, it's like, I mean, it's wrong on so many levels. And it's really, really bad here. I need to come where you are and just go walk into court. Because I'm not, you can tell too that these judges are very weak in the sense is like far as a litigator, like this judge that came out in Orange County, like she was probably like 32 and she just like couldn't hardly speak, you know, but they made me like announce who I was. And it was just like,
I have been talking to a lot of attorneys because my federal lawsuit, because, you know, everyone's lawyered up with multiple attorneys. And when they email me or talk, I'm just like, dude, you don't even know. That's not even true. That's a complete lie. And I sent him right back the info, the statutes. But yeah, that's what's happening. They're scared because they know that they don't really do what they're supposed to be doing. And when they realize we're learning our rights, they're like, oh, crud.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
they're terrified of accountability, terrified of it.
Yes. And when I went to, it's funny because I'm in court and everywhere, I feel like, but, when I had my lawsuit against the people that are bashing me in Missouri, it's a civil right lawsuit. And there's no you could have your phone on. Like there was no, you know, and I think that's what people don't realize. They just think it's normal to walk in and make your phone pull away. I know that the court I'm in Missouri, you can't even take a cell phone in. I had trial a month ago, and one of my friends that came with me accidentally had a cell phone, and she was carrying one of my bags because I had all these, you know, files. And she accidentally left her phone in my bag. And then literally they came over, and by the way, I had to beg and plead to have a laptop or a cell phone in my hearing. But they came over to me, they're like, you have 3 phones. I said, no, I don't. Here's my 2 right here. Well, no, I don't. And finally my girlfriend's, oh no, I think I left. That's how bad it was. My friend thought she was going to go to jail because she accidentally had a phone in there that she forgot it was in there. It's insane.
It's insane. And today I went, because I'm technically media, so I went to go do a media request to see if I could see what's happening in these courts or record. And they sent me all around the courthouse. They made me wait outside. They gave me like a Post-it note with a phone number on it, literally like a developing country. And it's like, and they were just traumatized that I was even asking. And like, that's the other thing. Like when I was practicing criminal, the media would be there all the time. I mean, not all the time, but regularly. And no one cared. It's just, you shouldn't be afraid, especially as a litigator. You shouldn't be afraid, or a judge in particular that in Kentucky runs for the damn job, of the media. Like, you know, It's just crazy for me. But I don't know where to go in this space because I know a lot of lawyers aren't trusted. And I listened to a lawyer yesterday talk to somebody, and I'm like, well, you son of a bitch are the reason that no one likes us. And so it's like a hard dichotomy for me to be in, is like, how can I help the movement? But also like, I'm not a therapist. So the trauma dumping, it's like, I don't know what, you know what I mean? I'm a lawyer.
Well, and I think that is what is hard because, you know, I'm not a therapist either. And that's why I'm always like, okay, where are you at? Meaning, have you learned this? Have you went and studied this? Because I don't teach anyone to do anything. I just said, have you found your state statutes? That's all I have to do because, yeah, people want to though, right? And it is, where is your space? But I think you have to realize as well, girl, is that just like doctors, every doctor has a different opinion.
Yeah.
Right. And so you have to realize that because, yeah, there's going to be bad attorneys that speak up and give advice. You know, there's times where we have people on our shows or podcasts that all of a sudden all these lies come out about them. That happened this morning. I got a phone call and I'm like, you know what is my goal here? My goal is to get our children rights back, our parents' rights back, period. And I think that's your heart ultimately.
Absolutely. And just to be clear, like there are people that deserve to lose their children, just like there are people that deserve to go to prison. But from my perspective, how I was raised, what I fundamentally believe in is that a court of law has got to comply with due process. And I'll tell you right now, it's like due process is like speaking French to these people. They are not complying with that, and they are almost terrified of it, which is what makes me think that there is more nefarious intentions behind what's happening, because notice and opportunity to be heard and impartial decider isn't radical. I mean, that is 1776 shit, frankly. Sorry. I'm in a mood. I mean, I am in a mood because it's like, it's so bizarre to just have it just like coming, you know what I mean? And all these
since you went today and you saw there, you know, you going there and being around people that have lost it is sad. It's hard, man. It's like emotionally, you know. So I don't know if I've told you this, but and maybe I have, but we are really working hard to get it to go to DC the third week of October. My prayer, we found a hotel that we could give us all discounted. My prayer is we could all raise enough money where all of us can go and be, they said that the whole conference room, they'd opened it up. And I'd love for you to speak there and just talk about Judgy Judge.
Yeah.
I want to drive there and write on my windows and drive by Kentucky and say hey to you, you know, and I want all of us just to go, and it'd be like a time where we all can meet. We can all see it, because in my opinion is, why aren't there support groups for this? There's support groups for AA, right? Support groups for if you lose your child. I mean, but there's nothing for this, and it's the biggest thing that affects us as our families right now ever.
It's going to be bigger than BLM, and it's percolating. It's percolating. Like, you can feel it. It's starting to affect everyone, regardless of socioeconomic status, race, religion, gender. It is affecting all avenues, and people are sick of it. And I'll tell you, I know a lot of the judges and GALs and FOCs, and, you know, and they're not the brightest crowns in the coloring box. And that's why they're so scared. You know, a criminal attorney isn't scared of the media coming in and watching. They don't give a shit. Like, I mean, and so you've got to realize,
because they're following the law. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're checking their boxes. They're doing the evidence. They're, you know, doing this. But family courts aren't.
Yeah, and they're confident in who they are, what they do, and the system. And I just think that, you know, a family court attorneys in particular, and family court judges, well, family court judges are typically failed lawyers, right? And I'll say that all day. I'll say it to our judges. We have some good ones, but yeah, I really think everybody just stay in there in 6 months. I think everything is really percolating. And just remember, like, you aren't crazy. The system is. That's the biggest takeaway I can tell anybody.
It is. Well, thank you for coming on again, everyone. Please go follow her. She is fun to watch. She's her accent, like you just said, this cute little accent, that like this little slang. I love what she says. She just is so, I just can laugh all the time. Hi.
All right, well, it was so good to see you. I'll let her jump on. You good?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just say hey real quick. Hi.
This is Autumn. Autumn is in California. She is a mother that's lost her kids as well.
You know how?
Yeah. Sorry, you're cutting out. You're cutting out. You're cutting out. Why is it you're cutting out? There you go.
Megan, can you?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay. Hi. I'm trying to get my energy up because we have been doing we've been interviewing the families here in OC. And yes, I'm a family court survivor myself. I'm a DOD whistleblower. And I thought that my family court stuff was just attached to the fact that I was married to somebody in the United States military and was influencing things in our area because of his like role and all that. And then I came down here to Orange County and went out to Arizona and Nevada, and I realized, oh, this is all over. And then connecting with Christine and knowing that she's out in Kentucky and read this is, I was like, okay, this is season 2 of the Trebuchet. Season 1 was sharing my journey as a DOD whistleblower and escaping domestic violence. And I thought that's where it would end. I thought it would just be like a capsule season. And then I got gagged, which gags are not a real thing. Like, I'm just going to full stop say it. A gag is not a real thing. It's literally just like a made up term. They can issue orders to keep portions of your case confidential. But in my case, I had a really funny little thing happen, which was my ex-husband, who was the primary income earner for our 17-year marriage, a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army, which is, you know, almost as high as it gets in the military. I think there's only like 5 ranks above, maybe. Made well over $200,000 a year. I had only made collectively $200,000 in our entire marriage because I was a stay-at-home mom. I worked different points in my career, but I was always staying home, and then we were moving
and you were a teacher, right?
doing. Yeah, I started so I actually wanted to be a human rights lawyer. I went to college at the University of Oregon, and I was in my junior year. I was studying for the bar, and I was going to go to grad school to get my JD and become a United Nations lawyer. Like, that was my dream, was to be a human rights lawyer. I got a degree in international studies with a focus on conflict resolution, peace studies, and human rights.
She had 3 beautiful kids. She now lives in an RV. And she
No, I don't.
did?
Well, I did. No,
What?
wait, Meg, I moved to Arizona
I
and I
know you
bought
did. I didn't know
land
if you're
and I
still
got a
like
beautiful
going. She
house.
drives her RV back and forth.
Oh,
It's
right. Okay, fine.
hilarious. She'll be like, "Hey, yeah." So she did have an RV.
We're
Yeah,
wheels
but
up.
she was smart. She bought some land in Arizona. She does go back and forth. She goes to Vegas. So go follow her. What's your handle to follow you?
It's just my name, Autumn_Manelik, Manelick.
And you're on Facebook too, right?
I am, but I don't go on there. So if anything posts on there, I think it just posts over from
Instagram. Yeah, you can set it so it just
Instagram.
goes over there
Yeah.
automatically, so you don't have to. Yeah, but she is majority, and her stories are
Yeah.
hilarious. If you ever want to just sit there and just like listen to her stories crack me up. And by the way, just so you know, she has a fake fight going on with me. She's trying to, create.
Mhm. And Christine, I had to pick a new one with Christine because Susan Bassey I couldn't tell if Susan Bassey was getting on or not. And I'm just like, I think it's funny that there's like this stuff happening because honestly, family court is so dark and such a depth that when you're living it by yourself and all the people around you are going like, we don't understand, how is this happening? How can we help you out of it? And they're watching you just get sucked into the oblivion and become a literal shell of yourself. No matter how hard you try to get out, no matter how many jobs you work, no matter how many food lines you stand in, no matter how much money you save, no matter how much silver you bury in the backyard, like it's just always this thing that just keeps beating you down until you finally realize like, okay, well, you got to laugh to keep from dying. And it's fight or die. That's what I said to Christine last night. And she was like, how does it end? When do you stop? And I said, well, for most of us, if we are still alive,
Right.
sadly,
I
we
gotta go
don't.
get my chickens.
It is
Right.
you fight
Right.
or you die. And I think of all of the women that we've lost. And a couple of months ago, I would say it was actually, I saw one of your videos and I saw the levity in what you were doing. I knew the gravity of it because nobody learns a Supreme Court case or like learns to file their own documents if there isn't something really, really serious going on. But you were able to bring a levity to it that I remember seeing a suicidal mom on my feed. And I was like, that's it. That's the last one. That's it. Because I'd started posting inspirational, like, stay the course. It shouldn't be like this. And honestly, I think a lot of my like family and friends who, know me personally, but aren't victims of domestic violence or aren't
Right.
victims of family court, I think they were just really relieved to have me start to get into the levity of it.
All right. Well,
And,
I'm gonna have to go get my
yeah.
chickens, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. It's getting dark. My
Okay.
chickens will literally go off my.
Wait, what did that say? It said somebody, their courthouse was
Yeah,
raided by the DA?
I was been doing this the whole time you were talking. I can click on their comments. Isn't that cool? Right here, there it is.
Yeah. Our entire courthouse was raided by the FBI in 2022. Several DAs have already been arrested, and it's still ongoing. So crap. Where's that? Kimberly Hicks.
Where is that at, Kimberly? She's on Facebook. This is Facebook.
That's wild. So that's actually how I ended up getting in touch with all these ladies and gentlemen from the OC is somebody put me on to the DA here in Orange County was under investigation for sexual assault on other assistant DAs, female DAs. And I guess there was some sort of
Hannah is on
with
Instagram saying,
assignment.
Autumn, I was telling Christine, y'all need to come to Texas for my trial in December.
Oh, Hannah. Wait, is it Hannah Ray? She's in Montgomery,
Texas. Yeah, I don't know. Next time you do this, connect your channels. You can connect your channel so it goes live on your channel.
I don't have 1,000 followers on Instagram, and they like took away my.
I don't care. It's just, you don't have to. No, I don't care. I don't need the followers. I was just saying so you get more followers because I want everyone to get big.
No. Oh, I don't. I would like to stay very, very small.
You just like to take bites. That's what you like to do. Did I tell you?
Yeah, you can't. I cannot have.
My girlfriend was like, another crazy person. I said, oh no, I love her. She's just kidding. All right, I'm gonna go get my chickens. I'm gonna take a 5-minute break, everybody. So I'm sorry the people that are on deck, but thank you, Autumn. We'll talk later. Bye, Christine. Have fun.
Bye. Can you leave their comments?
It's on
so I can
Facebook.
read their comments.
But yeah, I can leave it up. Oh. You can you scroll and see it? Can you see it on your end? I don't know what your end looks like.
Yeah, it's like on this side.
but I didn't know you could move it. So
You can. Sorry. Whoa. You can go on Facebook. You need to just go on Facebook because that's where But yeah, they're all on there. And then Instagram. You can go to Instagram and look at it live. There are people commenting, but I couldn't look at both of them. But I'll post this later too. I'll repost it. Lafayette, Louisiana. She said, Chris, Autumn.
ah,
It was the Kimberly Hicks from Lafayette.
okay.
That said that.
I'm going to,
Okay.
if it's the same Hannah I'm thinking of, I've already talked to her in Texas, and then I'm going to Mississippi. I've got 2 moms in Mississippi that I'm going to be coming out to interview. 2 moms in Vegas, 2 moms in Nevada.
Okay, I'll be back. I gotta let my chicks in before they all cry. I'll be right back. Hold on 1 second, people.
Oh.
We'll take back the crown. Stand with me, stand with might for what is stolen. We'll make it right. They wrote the rules, they played the game, tried to leave us all in shame. But the heart knows what is true, and next fight is ours too. No fear can stop, no wall can stay. Her steps carve out a brighter way. Stand with me, stand up tall, for every parent, for us all. Raise your voice, don't back down, together we'll take back the crown. Stand with me, stand with might, for what is stolen. We'll make it, won't fall. She's a voice for us all. No chains can hold, no lies can bind. Her fire burns, her truth will shine. Stand with me, stand up tall, for every parent, for us all. Raise your voice, don't back down, together we'll take back the crown. Stand with me, stand with might, for what is stolen. We'll make it right. They wrote the rules, they played the game, tried to leave us all in shame. But the heart knows what is true, and next fight is ours too. No fear can stop, no wall can stay. Her steps carve out a brighter way. Stand with me, stand up tall, for every parent, for us all. Raise your voice, don't back down, together we'll take back the crown. Stand with me, stand with might, for what is stolen. We'll make it, won't fall. She's a voice for us all. No chains can hold, no lies can bind. Her fire burns, her truth will shine. Stand with me, stand up tall, for every parent, for us all. Raise your voice, don't back down, together we'll take back the crown. Stand with me, stand with might, for what is stolen. We'll make it right. They wrote the rules, they played the game, tried to leave us all in shame. But the heart knows what is true, and next fight is ours too. No fear can stop, no wall can stay. Her steps carve out a brighter way. Stand with me, stand up tall, for every parent, for us all. Raise your voice, don't back down, together we'll take back the crown. Stand with me, stand with might, for what is stolen. We'll make it, won't fall. She's a voice for us all. No chains can hold, no lies can bind. Her fire burns, her truth will shine. Stand with me, stand.
Okay, we're back. I'm trying to get my other animal in. I can't. You want to see my birds? So a friend gave me these. They're silkies. Fun stuff, huh? I'm gonna have to go off again because I can't get my rooster to come in. They're gonna start calling. Watch. They're gonna call. Come on, we're over here. I'm gonna start calling the rooster. They're at my door waiting. Like, come on, let me in. Let me in, Mom. These girls have saved my life because I have a purpose to wake up in the morning now. You know, I got a purpose, don't I, girls? They're trying to call. You gonna call her? Call them. Oh, I think we're about done doing this. Oh, Sarah, I'm back. Thank you guys for being on their TikTok. I'm gonna kind of start focusing on you in a minute. I know. Brian. Okay, let me go. Thank you, Brian. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go put my chickens away. And yes, these girls have because I have 5 children that I miss that I was a mother for 17 years. Let me do this real quick. And then I will come. Let's see. I wish there was someone come in. Brian, hold on. I'm just gonna pull you in real quick because I'm tired of. Hey.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
I'm well. Yes. How are you?
It's been one of those days. Just busy.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I see how you're going. And first off, I just want to say I'm sorry for everything that you're going through. I know how hard it is from my side, and I appreciate everything that you're doing because there needs to be more people that can bring everybody together. And I greatly respect you for what you're doing.
That means a lot, Brian, and I really appreciate a man coming on here. I'll just let them. I really appreciate a man coming on and doing this. It's hard to get a good people to come in and to speak, and so I really appreciate you. And it's funny though because my followers, like 98% are women, which I'm thankful for. That means I don't have a lot of weird DMs,
Which is probably a good thing.
I know. So thank you for coming on. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, wow. I shot over a Google Doc to you that basically kind of outlined everything that I went through. But essentially, I had been in corporate America for 20, 30 years. Back in 2010, started a business as a side hustle. In 2014, ended up meeting my ex-wife, and we became, one of those honeymoon stage relationships. And my daughter ended up becoming born in 2014. And I was in corporate America, and my whole thing was I did not want to have not that I had a bad childhood being brought up. I just wanted to be very present for my daughter in her life, and I wanted to be there. And the only way that I knew how to do that was be a business owner and basically a keyboard warrior, if you will, work from behind the laptop. So I did that, and what I realized is I walked away from corporate America in 2016, and I built a $2.3 million business online. And then over 4 years, it was valued around $9 million. In 2018, I was at the Phoenix Open in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I had some stadium seats collapse on me, and
Wow.
it was about 700 pounds. 3 guys in front of me, and plus the seats all landed on my legs. 10 years prior, I was in a back injury where my back was broken, so it re-injured my back. Long story short, went through some healing in regards to it was right around the 2020 time frame, and I was in the process of getting my body back in shape from where it was from being injured. And essentially the 2020 thing hit, and it was just catastrophe because that was my industry. I was in personal protective equipment, sanitizers, and disinfectants. And I saw some things that just weren't on the up and up. And essentially that's what I've been working on the past couple hours, is kind of connecting all the dots a little bit further. That being said, fast forward, during the 2020 pandemic, a lot of people were forced to stay home, and it was just a lot of in confined spaces, if you will, with their other half. And I was dealing a lot with addictions of alcohol and drugs with my ex-wife. And it was one of those things where I didn't want my child to grow up in that environment. So it was a constant like, hey, I'm not going to continue to pay for all of the substance abuse. And essentially when it was said, you do the cutoff, it was like, well, I'm going to get you and this and that. And I was like, what are you going to do? I'm like, all I'm doing here is trying to work and provide for the family type of aspect.
Right.
so we get to a point where it was just constantly verbal fighting back and forth. And then I'm a bigger person, 6'3", 240 thereabouts. And she's a smaller woman. So we would have the police called out to the house for domestic violence. And it was always like, oh, he's doing this, he's hitting me. But it was never me. It was always me defending myself from being hit and basically verbally abused and et cetera, et cetera. So it was basically a domestic violence, but the tables were flipped in regards to me being the one who was being abused. And a lot of people would look at me and be like, that's not right. He it's got to be him. So I
Right.
didn't say anything. Reality is I just kept my head down and kept working. I was a sole provider. Um, what happened was in 2021, my business accounts were shut down by Chase out of nowhere. So essentially, I was cut off at the neck. So I couldn't basically use the ability to fund my business with the business credit that I had. So I basically started bringing down my business. And around that time, I had hired an attorney, and the attorney essentially dismissed my case. That was my personal injury case, and this was going back in the 2021 timeframe, 2022. And at that time, my ex-wife and I got into a fight, and she ended up calling the police department. Well, her ex-husband was a former police officer, and she had connections within the police department. So when they showed up, it was essentially,
Her
well,
ex-husband was on the thing. I'm confused.
yeah, her ex-husband was a police officer, and she had connections within the police department.
Okay.
So essentially, if you know how that works in regards to small community, they kind of stick with each other. That being said, it was like they showed up, and here's a guy, 6'3", 240. He must have done whatever. So there was actually there was a 911 call that we had in 2018 on October 31st, where she had came after me, and I had to lock myself in a bathroom to get away from her. And the reality of that was recorded on the 911 call. And that was never brought up in regards to them basically removing me from the house. So she went and basically lied and said I was beating her, and I did all these bad things. And so the police came with a protective order and told me I had to leave. So I had to vacate. Now, mind you, I run a $2 million business out of the house, and all my stuff was there. So essentially I had to vacate my house with nothing. And at this point I'm going, wait a minute, I didn't do anything here. And all the evidence previously was showing me that I'm the victim here. And
Right.
I don't like playing that victim card whatsoever. So fast forward, we ended up going through a divorce court, and that was one of the things that I really resonated with you in regards to that, is because when you get into the family court system, they don't care about the facts, they don't care about the truths, they don't care about all it is. It's everybody slings, and you see the ugly out of every person come out. And essentially that's what I experienced, was a bunch of perjury, bunch of lies, manipulation, and basically trying to make me out to be somebody that I wasn't. So essentially what it came down to was, after $30,000 of attorney bills, she had kept me from my daughter for like 6 months, because of the protective order of I was quote unquote a danger to her and my child, which it was the furthest thing from the truth. I was there to always protect and provide. So when I finally fought to get 50-50 custody, at that point I didn't have a place to live. So I was basically couch surfing, ended up staying with a friend. And essentially, when my daughter would stay with me, it was a very dysfunctional situation. And there were some bad things that ended up happening. So I ended up having to lose the 50-50 that I fought for. And it went back to just like a couple nights of visitation, a couple hours. And one of the hardest things that as going through is like when you have to say goodbye to your children, or you can't see them at all. And then it's like, we can't talk on the phone, or if it is, it's basically the other person chiming in, et cetera, et cetera. So it came to a point where I finally ended up getting back. I got a little bit of employment. I got my own place about a year ago. And then the reality of everything kind of set in. And basically over the past 4 years of going through this, it made me really kind of sit back and resonate with all the things that I've done in my life, all the experiences that I've had. And it really started getting to me where I went through all the emotions that you go through, the sadness, the loneliness, the anger. And then essentially I realized that, they can take everything from me. They took everything from me, my house, my money, my dogs, everything. And the reality is, what they can't take from me is the experience that I've had, what I've built in the past. So basically what I did is I started taking all my experiences from my past 30 years of being and working in corporate America and building a business. And I basically started writing books, and I've written over 100 books now. And that's where I've created basically a course, if you will, or a website that has all those books that talks about how to build a business, how to advertise, how to market. It gets into relationships, how to deal with divorce, how to deal with parenting aspects from my experiences, how to heal your body in regards to eating the right foods, how to get yourself in the right mindset. Because as you know, we all go through these mind battles, and everything happens. That's great.
Sorry, I need to go put him to bed.
No, that's all
They're
right.
all
Do you want?
crying behind me, you know.
Yeah, I
I
get
got
it.
kids again. You know, I thought I had more kids, so I'm trying to listen to you so I can go put them back. But it's. I will say, people make fun of my chickens, but I was very grateful someone giving them to me. But they're giving me a purpose again because they help. I have to get up in the morning and let them out. You know, I have to take care of them because they sleep in a kennel, and they don't poop at all at night. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. You read all these books. I'm listening.
Yeah, so essentially that's what I've been working on over the past 3-4 years, is writing these books and putting a course, if you will, together to help educate people. So, you know, my thing is when I heard your story and you want to fight the judicial system, essentially being involved in everything that I've uncovered from the corruption. This goes back from 2018 to 2020, especially getting into current situations. We're dealing with a very corrupt institution. And it's not just the judicial system, it's corporations, et cetera, and everything is intertwined, and it's all connected. And the reality of what I came to understand is that in order to beat this system, we have to essentially educate people, and we have to build a side by side, a parallel system, if you will. So essentially, that's why I wanted to get in touch with you, is because I wanted to create something to where, essentially, to give you an idea, is the struggle that we all face as single parents is you spend anywhere between $30,000 to $100,000 in attorney fees and battling for the divorce issue in court. And essentially that's money that could be spent if, you know, your kid's college tuition, a car, all these other expenses that would be most beneficial to putting into your own family. Instead, we're giving them to a corrupt institution, a racketeering, if you will, that basically steal all of our money that we've worked our butts off to make sure that we can provide for our families. Now, essentially, when you do all that, then you get to a point where you say you have custody, but then you have to find a job, because essentially you've lost your source of income, because you now have to find a job that basically gives you the ability to be a parent 50-50 out of the time. So you have to make sure that you're there for your kids. You have to make sure that you're taking them to school, you're getting them up on time, brushing the teeth, making the lunch, breakfast, dinner, all those things that take time. And then if you're gonna do the thing that I don't want to do and I absolutely despise, and there's nothing against this, but it's a matter of like, oh, we're just gonna get daycare, and then you're spending $1,500 or $2,000 a month to pay for
make
daycare.
it impossible, and that's what right now in our country. I have a $350,000 divorce.
Yep.
And no one will even honor it. That's the thing. Even though you fight for this, and it's really expensive, 30-page decree that states everything, I've still been in court ever since. $500,000 later, and my kids got ripped away because he kept violating the orders, and no one cares. No one cares. That's the problem.
Yep.
We have to get these judges to be accountable.
That's,
you know, and I agree with you. Like I would have a home paid off for, right? And now I'm living in mom's Airbnb, but they have completely, 2 years ago, I had zero credit card debt, 80,000 again. And this is why people like you, I'm thankful that, are speaking out and saying this, because they're just money hungry attorneys, money hungry therapists, and money hungry. They don't care about the kids. They don't care about our savings. So sorry, go ahead. I had a rant for a second.
No. I'm lit up like a Christmas tree right now. And when that happens, it means that we're on to something, especially something very important like this, because essentially what we've done is we've now given our control over to them, and we've lost our sovereignty in regards to taking care of us and our family. And that's not what this country was founded upon. Our constitutional rights have been violated. My First Amendment, my Second Amendment, my Fourth Amendment, my 14th Amendment have all been violated. And essentially what that comes down to now is understanding that, okay, I'm not going to be the victim anymore. What I'm going to do is I'm going to basically create something where I'm going to help myself and I'm going to help other people. And by doing that, it starts with education, and then giving people the ability to create something that gives them the ability to make money and give them their time back. Because essentially, once you have your time back, you have your freedom back, and then you're able to do the things that you need to do with your kids, and essentially be there for them while you're still able to make money. So I hope, I don't know if I lost you there or if I'm just the only one on right now. But anyway, that's what I was alluding into in regards to how you spend money to fight for your kids, and then essentially you get your kids, and then essentially you have to figure out a way to pay for all the expenses, and then you have to make sure that you're there to take care of your kids. So with that being said, that's again why I have created what I've created. But essentially what I see this being is the judicial system does have to be held accountable. And if they're not held accountable, then essentially, like I looked at it as like I have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. Plan A is to build a parallel system. Plan B is to educate everybody and to make everybody so that they can have their own sovereignty, so that they don't have to rely on the system. Because if we can educate people and make sure that when people get together, they are aligned with the person that they fall in love with, and that they're actually have the same values, morals, and ethics that it takes to raise children. And then when you're on the same page, you don't have the dysfunction that you have when it comes to the divorce, and then the kids grow up with those trauma. And then essentially it's repeating that over and over and over again, and we never heal as a society. And essentially, we have a lower energy frequency, and that is not how we're not designed to be that way. So if we're able to create sovereignty within individuals, and then able to educate people to avoid that from happening in the future, then essentially what we're doing is we're going to change the game. We're going to change the game by taking the power away from the court system, by not sending them people that says, hey, I want you to, my husband or wife is doing this, I need you to fix it for me. We have to become more educated, and we have to make sure that we're aligned with the right people so that we don't have to go there. And then essentially by bringing awareness to the court system and letting them know, hey, you are violating our Constitution. Like I literally spent the past 4 hours putting a RICO case together, and it disgusted me in regards to the corruption that I found, and how I connected the dots on everything that I did, and how they came after me specifically and targeted me. And that cannot happen to any other human being. And I'm going to, before I die, I'm going to make sure that all these people get brought to justice somehow, some way. And the reality of you doing what you're doing is there should be a spotlight shined on you and everybody that is part of this movement, because it is vitally important to our security of our country. That, I don't know about you, but I've had uncles and aunts and grandparents that were in the military that fought for this country. They'd be rolling over in their grave if they saw how dysfunctional it is.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I get kind of
By the
fired
way,
up.
thank you for taking over my show. I love it. Thank you. You helped me take care of my chickens. I could got off for a second. I could hear everything you said.
Just send me
Don't
some
tell
eggs.
anyone I let you do this. Now, have you heard about the October thing? What I'm trying to really blow up. Have you heard about that?
I have not. I try not to spend too much time on Facebook, but it's one of those things where it's a time suck. It's like a casino with no exit.
Well, good. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so have you heard of the Family Accountability Act, the bill that we're trying to get in?
I have read a little bit about it. Can you tell me more?
Okay, well, it's on my website. I made a whole cheat sheet. Like, I went through and I had the Francesca that wrote it make sure, but it is the thing that's going to save all of us if we can get it passed. And everyone I've talked to loves it. The problem is some people are like, oh, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Yeah, it probably is not going to happen, but we got to try, right? So my goal is in October to third week, they're going to get a congressional room done, and I'm going to be on the table with them, and we're going to speak and try to get this bill in. And what this bill is it makes judges have no more immunity. It puts CPS cameras on their chest. It criminalizes false accusations. I mean, it's something for everybody. And the reason I'm supporting it is because it's factual and it's constitutional based. But secondly, Francesca has no agenda here. She's not making money doing this. She's the mother that's gone through it. It's not an organization. It's not anyone that's trying to scam anybody. It's not, it's not lobbyists, right? So my prayer and goal is that we all drive. I don't know where you live. What state are you in?
I'm in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know for how much longer. It's either Ohio or Florida from here. But for now, I'm here in
Florida's
Arizona.
bad too.
Well, everything has to be changed. It's not
I
just a
agree.
state. It's every
Well, and
state within our country.
this is federal bill. I do support Robert Garza. He's doing state bills, which I love that. And he had some really cool points. But I am supporting this. I've talked to this woman multiple times, but my goal is to go in October. All of us drive out there. I'm going to drive to DC again. I drove to DC in February and spent the night in my car by myself in the cold by the truckers and the McDonald's. And my goal, we found a hotel that was going to let us all go to this one hotel and discounted rates. But my prayer is we can all figure out a way to donate money. If every one of my followers gave $1, we could pay for 2 nights for the whole hotel for everyone to go. They told us we could have the big conference room to speak and have speakers come in, like who wrote the bill and Christina Judge, and it'd be a time where people can actually go together and come together as one and for one mission only, and that is our children and our personal rights. I don't care if you're left or you're right. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion you are. I care about these are our children. And I won't fight, and I will, but this is going to be a time where I can meet all you guys, right? And we can all get on the train together and go to the Capitol, and people can go and learn how to walk through the Congress, the Senate. I did. I met Rand Paul, and I met Eric Schmidt, and I saw Kennedy walk by me, and I met a lot of House representatives, and they're all like, "Do you have a card?" And I was like, "No, I'm just a mom from Kansas that my kids were taken from me, and I'm telling you my story." And they're kind of like, okay. And I'm like, but that's what we need to start doing is getting loud. And so I would love if more people wanted to work on this. I am maxed out on everything I'm doing. I have thousands of messages, thousands of people are talking to me. And here, I want you to know this, Brian, since you don't get on social media much. When this happened to me, I've been quiet for 11 years. I played their game. I had my kids 80% for 10 years. And then my ex, which is a millionaire, conned people behind my back. Long story short, God says you get big. You get big on social media. You blast this. And when we find remedies and get people to start sharing and get loud, then you will have the following to blast the remedy out to help all of our children. And this is not, I don't want to be big. I don't want this job. I want my kids back. I want to be gardening with my kids at night. I don't want this at all. So thank you for writing all those books. And I love you came on and took over. Thank you. And I'm proud of that for you. I love that. And so where can people follow you and where can you get support?
They can follow me at my Facebook page is one. In the Google Doc that I share with you, there are 2 links. So essentially, this is, it ties into what you're talking about. I created a system that essentially, when it's shared, people can make money. So basically, it's a university that I created of how to read ebooks. So everything is a downloadable ebook. You basically get in, you are able to educate yourself, and then when you share it, you can actually earn an affiliate commission on that. So in the link that I had in the Google Doc that I had sent you, there are 2 links. One, if you just want to donate, you can donate. The other one is actually gets you into a free downloadable book, and then it gives me your email address so that I can turn around and send you the affiliate link and give you instructions on how to share that. Once we get people to share it, my goal is to get 1 million people to share it over the next 3 years. By doing that, that gives us enough money to fund everything and to make this movement and get it in front of the people and have the money behind it that it needs.
Okay, I'm going to look into this.
Okay. If you have any questions, any questions, reach out to me. You have my email address. You have my cell phone. If I don't answer, just leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But again, I greatly appreciate you doing what you're doing, and I know it's hard. I'm not the person that likes to be behind the screen, but if I have to, I will. It's vitally important that we change what is going on, and if we don't do it, nobody else will.
Amen. Amen to that. Thank you, Brian. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Wait, Rosie. Hi, Lisa.
Hey.
Let's put Rosie and Lisa together. There we go. How are you, Lisa? What state are you from?
I'm brokenhearted, Louisiana.
Louisiana. Oh my gosh, earlier tonight I couldn't remember what the abbreviations were for Wisconsin. I feel so stupid.
Cajun.
I know. I'm tired. Can you tell? Hold on 1 second. From Louisiana. I just watched that documentary of the New Orleans stuff that happened. That was crazy.
Yeah, I know it was crazy. It still is crazy.
I bet it is. Rosie,
It's
where are you
been-
from?
Excuse me?
What state are you from?
Louisiana, Pineville.
Oh, Rosie is too, and Lisa?
Hi there. No, I'm here in Boston.
Boston, Massachusetts?
Yes, indeed.
All right, cool. Well, I wanted to know. So, Lisa, I'm going to let Rosie go first because she's been waiting for a while. And so I'm going to
Okay.
take you back out, but I just wanted to pull you both in to see if
Okay.
Rosie was there. And then I'm about to go tired because my chickens are probably crying outside because it's getting dark. It's dark. And I keep blaming my chickens. I don't have anything to blame but my chickens. I blame my kids, but I don't have my kids. So sorry.
Hey, we fed the chickens today.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to Rosie and then we'll get to you, Lisa. So thank you for being
Okay.
patient. Hi,
Yeah.
girl. How are you?
Good. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, it is Tuesday. It's
It's my
999.
Friday. I'm sorry. It's my Friday. I've been working like nonstop, haven't had a break. So I'm just kidding. Good going. I'm not kidding. It's my Friday, but it's your Tuesday. Let's go.
I think it's such a subliminal message to me that this is happening on 999.
What?
You know, today is the portal. It's 999. So September 9. If you add two plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, it's 9. So it's 999.
So what does that mean?
Well, it's a portal. It's pretty much like for people that are in tune into spirituality and things like that, like meditation.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So it's special right now that you're on here and speaking your truth.
Yes.
Did you manifest this?
I did indeed.
Good job. Okay, so tell me your story.
It's very exciting. So just very briefly, you know, it's taking me a while to get here. My son is in the other room playing Xbox. I got some ribs and a air fryer because I was working late. And then I wanted
Being
to
a
jump
single
in
mom,
here.
working hard. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I wanted to jump in here and thank you for, you know, taking the time to have the courage to start this and allow us to have a voice. I've been going through this roughly 9 years or more. You know, I have created a bubble around me to shield myself and my son with the community. So I actually got laid off from my HR corporate job because my ex subpoenaed my employer and humiliated me, and then they laid me off soon after. And the whole point of the matter was just to tap into my earnings. And just to give you an idea, he's a couple of years older than me, and he's Caucasian. You know, I'm a hybrid transplant here. I came to Boston to go to school. I'm a Northeastern graduate and a BU graduate. You know, currently I'm working with the community, working with the digital divide, trying to educate people about everything that has to do with AI, focusing mainly on the adult education. You know, minorities here in Boston, as you know, ICE is here. They were at the Boston College campus.
Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Take a big breath, baby girl. I know. Trust me. Take a big breath. Hey, you're not alone.
They were at the Boston College campus. One of my interns from Korea, she's really nervous. She's saying it's very nerve-wracking to be out there with all the cars, and you know, there's a lot of stuff going on here in Boston. And then, you know, I know that I live over here in the Bay by Marina Bay, so it's rather more Caucasian than anything, and a lot of Asian population. So it's kind of like we're kind of safe. But I even had to talk to my son about the possibility that we could be out on the streets and somebody could possibly just pick me up for the sake of meeting their quota, just even though I am in the clear. And then, you know, with all this, I'm just being really afraid to speak up because I feel like I've been blacklisted and they're trying to erase me. And the only reason why they haven't been able to is because I have shielded myself with the community, and I've been knocking on so many doors, even though they all have closed. I have lost friendships. I have lost everything. The only thing I have left is my son. I cashed my 401k. I had created this kind of like white picket fence for me with sort of a backup B plan for me in case things didn't work out for ABC reason in my future and whatnot. But then, the thing and the bottom line is that I spend so much money on attorneys that haven't been able to really represent me or help me. The most frustrating situation was the very last one that I had, where I was able to lock in this attorney last minute to represent me, because I was, at this point, I'm just out of pocket. And every time I try to represent myself, they just erase me and silence me. And I try not to be emotional, but as you can see, it's very difficult. And after they subpoena my employer, they came to the conclusion that I was making more money than somebody that is older than me, that is a Syracuse University graduate, that was a stockbroker in downtown Boston. And here I'm in my notary trying to help the community, give back to the community, work and try to keep myself up so that I don't become part of the system that is already broken. And and no one is listening to me. There's been medical negligence towards my son. It's still going on right now. No one's doing anything. I go to the hospital.
Have you connected with anyone online or that's going through what you're going through?
No, not so far. There's this one girl that it's kind of like closer to downtown Boston from where I am out here in the Bay. And
Okay, so
I have tried to
you're
reach
in-
out to her. I'm in Boston, but I'm in like the Bay. So it's the Bay, like Marina Bay, and then there's like downtown Boston is like 4 miles away from here.
Right.
So
and I guess the reason I say that is because I'm not making any money doing this. I don't even know when I'm going to be able to have money for groceries. Okay, so people don't realize that I make nothing off this, and I just had to cash in my Roth IRA, and to be able to even see my son with supervised visits 4 hours a week, and I still can't even find a company to let me see my son because every time they know it's me, no, they don't want to mess with Meg, right? Stand with Meg. And I want you to know I can't even get my job back because my ex did the same thing. Do you want this type of woman supporting you? You know what I mean? So we all are going through the same thing, Rosie, and your story is one of the reasons why I stand up. And I will tell you what, the more that you start reaching out and getting connected with people in your area and there's got to be, where are you from?
Originally, where I was born, I'm Colombian, Italian, Spaniard. So I'm a hybrid mix. I grew up between. I was born in Colombia. I grew up here in the U.S. And then I spent some time in Italy. So I'm multilingual. Like I said, I've been really trying my best to not be part of any system, but unfortunately, I feel like the system had swallow me, shoot me up, and spit me out. And I have.
Well, then, have you shared anything publicly about your stuff online?
No, this is the first.
So this is your debut. Congratulations. Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. I have people from Finland, Portugal, I'm getting so tired. Australia. And there's lots of moms reach out to me and they can't share. They're scared to share, right? And then I'm like, then just share my stuff. And they're starting to share it over there. And it's growing. I'm getting tons of people that are just like, I don't even understand the language.
I hear you, yeah.
And what I'm telling you is they want you isolated to where you have no friend, where you don't feel like you have a voice. But when you start talking about this and sharing it online, you could be the huge benefit for people overseas and talk, because you could still talk in your foreign language or your language, correct?
Yes, I speak 5 languages. Actually, I speak
you could
fluent.
You could literally take my videos, put them in a green screen and speak different languages.
Yeah, I can use AI for that. Yeah.
I know there's AI for that, but no, you could literally just say, this is what she's saying. You're not telling your story, but you're going to get followers that are going to connect with you because they'd want to know what I'm saying overseas. And that could be a huge thing for you. And when you get to start helping people, that's where you heal. That's where you feel stronger. I've seen so many broken women and some men that just are just like you, just like me. And when they finally found the niche that they're supposed to do, all of a sudden they're back. They got stronger. They got powerful. They felt on fire. And you can start that. You have a gift that no one has. 5 languages? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You can literally take my videos, not share yours to protect yourself if you're scared of it. I would recommend you can just do whatever the heck you want. But in my opinion, take another person's video. Take another mom that's speaking out. Put it in that language. And put it and put the location in that country that you're speaking. That is what you could be doing. You have a gift. I have another woman that reached out to me that is deaf, that does sign language, and she's grown to 1.5 million. Okay,
Yeah,
that's all she does.
I'm not sure if I'm ready for that, to be quite honest with you.
You don't have to. All I'm saying is when you can start working out and telling your story and getting people connected with you, you're helping people, you will feel stronger. You will feel more empowered, and you would, can start growing your own income.
Yes, I agree with that. And that's one of the reasons why, even before this happened, or this whole warfare that I'm going through started, I always try to give back to the community. I had the opportunity to work for Univision, the Spanish TV station, and be out there in downtown Boston, working with the different communities, the different members of the different communities here in Boston, and really go around and spread the word and resources that people can tap into it, especially right now where everyone is going through so much, and there's just such an unprecedented times at the current moment where
read this.
Yes, I feel so overpowered sometimes about this, because the reality is that, like I said,
Here's another one.
I think that they're trying to silence me and erase me, and the reason is to take my son away. And
my 5 children were taken away, girl. My 5 kids are gone. Okay, I have proof that my ex's wife has a cop video of saying all I want you to do is get arrested so I can take her kids and peace on, peace out. They took my 5 children. Okay, and I'm still here. And you have to get strong for your son. Your son needs you. You cannot be weak. This is what they want. They want you to go down. They want you to cry. They want you to act crazy. But who are you fighting for the most? Your son. And your son needs his mama. So don't you ever give up. I haven't seen a lot of, 3 of my kids for a year and a half now. Okay. I see one kid that he's my one son that doesn't listen to manipulation. But you cannot let them win. You got to say that I will not let them win. I'm going to stand up. And you got to stand up. You have an amazing gift. 5 languages. And you don't have to share your story. There's so many more people now on this platform that are telling their stories. You could literally just do a green screen, put it behind you, and talk in a different language. And that would be amazing. Then you're going to have people reach out to you in that language, and you're going to be able to help them, not even in America. Because this is global. You realize that, right? It's all over. So you got to stand strong. Who's the one that is for your son? Who's the one that's the biggest for your son? You. And who are they trying to take down?
Me.
Don't let them. Do not let them. Your son's over there playing Xbox right now.
Yeah. He was talking to my brother.
You're sitting here on live nationally on all platforms. You're on X right now. You're on YouTube. You're on Facebook. You're on Instagram and TikTok. Hello.
It's nerve-wracking.
And you're strong and you're doing it. And you took that step of faith, and I'm proud of you. Don't give up. Don't you dare give up. Got it? That's what they want. And trust me, I've never ever wanted to unalive myself my whole life. I had 4 kids in diapers. I had 3 kids in 1 year, 5 kids in 5 years, all by myself, babies throwing up, all alone. I had all these babies. And I said, I didn't even think about hurting myself because I had my children, but strip my kids away from me. Guess what? I thought about it. And the 5 times I thought about this in the year and a half since they ripped my kids away, I've lost my home. Thank God I live in my mom's Airbnb right now, make no money. Guess what? When I go to that sadness, I have to feel it and I cry it out. You got to let that pain out. Don't do it when your son's around. And I scream it out, let it out. You get one night, Megan, you get one night to be sad. And then guess what? After I scream it out and yell it out and let that energy get out of me, because it stays in there, right? I then say, okay, let's go. We're going. We're fighting. And you have to claim that.
Yes.
My 2 cents.
Yes.
You know, I have 2 neighbors. One of them lets me cry to her. I mean, just 2 months ago, I had a time where I was crying so hard, my neighbors thought I was dying. I was screaming in pain. Okay. And then my other neighbor, she's my backbone, I call her. And she's like, wait, is anyone dying? And I'm like, no. And she goes, stop it right now. You stop it. And I'm like, okay. And she's the one that's giving me my voice. It's because someone like her said, nope, you stop. You can cry for one night, but you go. And you stick up, and your son needs his mom.
Yeah, there hasn't been one day that I have not been able to get up. I got to be very thankful for this strong individual that my mother and my grandmother raised in order to be able to withstand what I've been going through. I think it's remarkable, but I'm just very at the end of the road where everything, all the roads that took me to Rome kind of closed down on me all at once. And it's been really hard to prove myself. And it's just the credibility and the smear campaign and everything that they have done towards me. It's just, it's just very disappointing.
I know. And, I have my ex got somebody to make a TikTok they had 0 followers and 35,000 people bashing me right now. Okay. I've been hit like crazy. And guess what? I know my truth. And I believe in God, but I believe the ultimate judge is our Father. And I believe that I know the truth and He is my person. That's my belief. But you have to pull onto something. Right now, our government, the enemy, the bad people are trying to rip children away from good parents because it's money. And they want to create a generation of children that have issues because they're ripped from good parents. And you are bigger than that. Sorry, you're stronger than that. Okay?
Yes.
Love you. I got to get off. It's almost 9 here, and I have been on here. I don't know. How long have I been on here today? Anybody from TikTok? Sarah might know. Oh, my goodness. I love you, girl.
I love you all. I want you to know that I'm going to be strong, not just for my son, but also for myself and for all of you guys.
And I would love it more than anything. It makes me so happy if I see a video come through where you take my video, you download it, you green screen it, and you talk in a different language. I would scream bloody murder and share the heck out of it. Okay? Because there are people all over the world that need your voice, and you have that gift.
I think I'm ready.
You pray on it, and I want you to focus on it and meditate on it, whatever you need to do. But there's no accidents you're here tonight. And like you said, there's no accidents. It's the portals open for you, you said, and 999, right?
Yes.
Take it. Put your hand on your heart. Put your hand on your heart for me. Breathe. Shake it all out. You know all this, right? And you just have to accept what you need to do next. You are not alone. You're going to create a situation where you're going to have people all overseas that can understand you, and you're going to open up a path for America to actually tie in with everyone for overseas, Canada, Australia, and you're going to connect it. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm not weird, people. Okay? I just really believe in feelings, and I believe in doing when things are weird. I'm not weird, I promise. I just, one thing I've learned with all my children, all my kids needed something different when they're upset. And one time one of my daughters really got upset, and we had to go outside and shake it all out. And she had to ground her feet, and all my children had to do different things to release their stress. One of them would just yell it out and talk it out, right? The other one needed one-on-one time with me to talk. And so with that, I've learned that everybody needs to do different things. And I've had to learn that. I never cried. I cried 2 times around my kids the whole time I was a mother. I'm still a mom, but in person mother. But God taught me it's okay to cry. It's okay to scream in my bed if I have that and cry it all out. But the next day I get up and I go. So I'm not crazy. I bet everyone's sitting there making fun of me right now on TikTok, and that's totally fun. I don't really care. Right? See, you can say, I don't care. Shake it up, right? Woo, woo, woo. Yep, I'm a dork. I know. I'm a dork. Sorry, and I'm tired. But anyway, I love you, girl. Thanks for coming on. You're beautiful.
Thank you
gorgeous.
Thank you
And
so
I am
much.
so proud of you. You take care of you take care of your son, and you stand up for your truth and your child. Got it?
I will. I will continue to do so. Thank you again.
Talk to you later.
Be
See you,
blessed.
sweets. You
Bye.
too. Bye bye. Well, I wasn't
Hey,
expecting that.
hey, I fed chickens today too, baby.
I was not expecting that. Sometimes on these lives, I never know. I'm getting hot. I gotta take this off. That was ugh.
Go ahead.
That's I'm not gonna go down. That was funny. I'm gonna take my earrings off. I've been on here all time. I think I've been a total of like 20 hours on live this week. Yeah, I'm exhausted. But
Yeah.
you know the sad thing is, Lisa, I had no idea it wasn't public on Facebook and all that fun stuff. Yeah, that was great to
A little
watch today.
nervous.
All right, so what's going on with you, Lisa?
Girl, this is a
Girl.
mess, okay? um, this parish we live in, the mother of the baby, newborn baby,
So
she
a
had a
parish.
patch.
Parish. What's a parish?
Rapids Parish, it's not a county. We have parishes in Louisiana.
Oh, so you guys, so it's a county, but it's a parish. You guys call it
Right,
parishes. Okay,
right.
thank you.
Yeah.
County, thank
And the mother of this newborn baby, which is my son's girlfriend,
you. Yeah.
in her past worked for the court system in the courtrooms with all the judges.
Okay.
So she knows all of them, and they all know her very well.
Yeah.
They party after work. They used to party after work and all that, go out for drinks and affairs and all kinds. Okay, and something went down up there. I don't know exactly what took place, but so she had the baby, and CPS said that went into her house when they went into her house. Well, I was there, and they never set foot on her property. Their foot never touched the ground. They never entered her house until like it was 6 months later. But anyway, so they found her at her aunt's house, where they went and took the baby and gave my son 5 minutes to make a decision whether he was going to take the baby and leave her to go with me. Well, to make a long story short, I go home, I get a call, and the judge that signed the removal is almost retired, okay? And he hated her, and he signed the removal for the baby to be removed on the spot, on the phone. And the baby was taken care of. The whole family was there on both sides. And because the mom was having some health issues after her delivery. And so anyway, I get home, I get a phone call, and it's a foster care worker saying, Miss White, I'm 10 minutes away from you. I'm bringing your grandchild. I said, okay. I wasn't prepared for it, but I got prepared real quick. And so the the foster care drops the baby off with nothing and gives me only 3 sheets of papers, unsigned, okay, just with her signature and with not mine, explains nothing to me, no due process, nothing. So anyway, this case has had 4 judges. One removed himself because of, from my understanding, her best friend had an affair with him. He was a DA back then. And the judge, something went on that back then. I can't explain it right because I don't know what happened back then. But so let me just skip that part and go forward. So they kept switching judges on us and lawyers and caseworkers. The first caseworker had me 10-day-old baby, made me let this
What's a 10
newborn.
10-day-old baby? Sorry. 10-day-old baby. Sorry.
Yeah, and the hospital records had it down as a boy. Okay, and the father's name wrong. And we have that too. So anyway, she's the cousin of the mother, the little girl just got married, decides she wants the baby. Okay. So
Yeah.
they're going behind my back, which I had no idea. And I opened my home to these people. The caseworker made me let the baby go every weekend. And this is a newborn baby. And so there was a conflict. I went over her head. Well, she came after me. Okay. Not good.
Right.
You know, war was on. And I'm skipping through a lot of this. It's a lot more to it. It's a lot to it. And so then the cousin decides she wants the baby half the time. And so the caseworker brings the girl over, which she was coming over anyway, anytime she wanted, because I wanted all, it's 3 huge families have been broken because of all this, heartbroken. And I was even going over to my ex's, okay, bringing the baby and spending the night. And that's hard to do, you know, so the
Right.
great grandmother could know the baby because of her age.
Right.
And, well, they were letting the baby in the beginning go there too, a night a week with a convicted felon and a grandmother that was like 85 years old, 86 years old. Let me rephrase that.
Right.
And then she would come back. So she was being going all over the place, but most of the time I had her. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm sorry, that was the second caseworker. Let me back up a minute. First caseworker kind of disappeared on us.
Right.
First, she lost her phone. She never did the visit. She came to my house once, and that was it. And the baby
We're gonna have
was
to get the meat and potatoes. Did you see me telling the meat and potatoes? We all sit here and tell the whole story. Tell me the meat and potatoes, girl. What's going on now? How old the kids? What happened?
okay.
Go.
So anyway,
People, you know the rule where people get like you got a few minutes for everyone to be like gone. I want them to hear your story, and the only way they can hear your story is if you get the meat and potatoes. Go.
Okay, so the judges, there's just everybody's all over the place. Don't know what's going on with the case. They don't get a case plan until 6 months later. Okay,
Right. Right.
and we're on the second caseworker, and she's making me let this newborn baby go out of state with a cousin that doesn't have a background check. Her husband didn't, and a bunch of other people. And I had pictures of her at the bar and stuff. They didn't care. And I had to go through all kinds of background checks. So then, anyway, the girl decides she wants a baby and they bring her over. Well, no, I didn't agree to it. So the caseworker came after me hard and heavy. So I get a text one day, they're in court, and I've never been notified of any court cases, any trials, any plans, no paperwork, no Zoom papers been notified of Zooms. Just so happened one day I picked up the phone, it was a Zoom meeting. That's the only way I knew, you know? And so anyway, I'm skipping through a lot. I'm trying to hurry up. So
No, I
anyway,
know. Right. I just want people to like, yes. So you have to like, okay. So there's corrupt. A lot of families are getting, in it. And then go ahead. Yeah.
These judges should have never heard this case. These judges should have never been in that courthouse or this parish, actually, because they all know each other. I mean, she's still friends with one of the judges, and they meet out for dinner, or a drink after work,
Right. No,
And
I get
so,
it.
yeah, and that's a
Stay
big
on.
problem.
I want to address what you're just put on here. Have you ever done a podcast? But go ahead, Lisa. I want to let him know.
No, this is the first time I've ever done it, so I'm real nervous and I'm skipping
I'm
through a
proud
lot.
of you. I know you're doing great. I'm just a little bossy. No,
No, go ahead. I am too, girl, when you get to know me. So I told the caseworker, no, it's not going to happen. So she came after me, her supervisor. I did a complaint to the Osborne. Can you see that?
Complaint to the what?
Can you see it?
Yeah, what's the complaint to what?
To the state of Louisiana. And so they did an audit.
A complaint. Wait. So you have to realize every state calls everything differently. So when someone says, I did a grievance, it's the same thing as
It's
me.
OMBUDS.
But what
To
is
the
it? Is it
legislator, a complaint form.
about the judge?
About everything.
Oh, okay.
When the caseworker pretended like she was going to hold the baby that day and took her from me right out of my arms with no bottom, no diaper, nothing, no reason. And it's supposed to be in writing. And you're supposed to sit down and have a meeting before. Nothing.
So you are a grandmother.
I was a grandmother, foster care. I was caretaker / foster care, and they were certifying me to be foster care until this caseworker and I reported them and did the
then you're back
complaint.
there you go. There's
It all changed.
there it is. You know,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
kind of, it's funny because I hated English growing up, hated it, sucked at it. And then God's like, no, now you're going to teach people how to put a timeline, put an introduction, and put the body and put the ending.
Right, exactly. You know, and this, you know, this is a newborn baby. She's going all over the place, you know. I did not agree with that,
I agree.
you know. And then so
agree.
this caseworker just so happened that following week when she did that, she got transferred to another town and went to another department at the state office building to the child support office.
Right.
So I think they demoted her. I'm not for sure, or moved her out of
Right.
CPS to, you know, because there's no paperwork on anything. And the paperwork they do have is so screwed up. And they don't even really, they have me listed one time as the caregiver or the grandmother, and that's it. So, but anyway, the kids didn't get their case pan until like 6 months later. And the new one comes along, and she starts doing the paperwork correctly as far as I can see. And then there's team meetings that took place, and the supervisor kicked me out of it. And I was invited to go, and she dismissed me. Yeah, and I have the paperwork right here. You know, invite.
Oh, she's gone. Where the heck did she go? Why did it do that? Okay, why should we're waiting for her to come back on. Hello, TikTok. How are you? Yeah, I know. You're like you're sad because I'm not paying any attention to you. That's what it does. It's like he's more attention. Nicholas, real quick, I want to go over what you said. Have you ever done a podcast on fathers that have default judgments forced to pay even with DNA proof? I will tell you this. My neighbor actually has had this happen to her son that was actually in a car accident when he was 20 some years old, young 21-year-old, and he passed. And the same judge is on my judge's case is letting the woman, the girl, claim it's his baby, and so she got all of the payout for the insurance, and it wasn't. The mother fought. My neighbor, love her to death. I hung out with her last night. I need a little girl time. I'm really over maxed out, but little girl time, and her son, she had proof to show the judge that his DNA is not even him, and they still had to pay. The judge didn't care. The judge didn't care there's DNA there after her son passed. Yeah. So no, I do get it. I believe that there's a lot of messed up things. And my husband was, wow, what's going on here? There you go. Look at that. Would you look at that? Anyway, oh, there she came back. Let's put her back in, and then I need to go to bed, guys. I've been up.
This case here is just so wild, and it's so much wrong here. It's so wrong. It's so corrupt what they did to this family, and 3 huge families tore these families apart. You know, completely ripped their hearts out. And she's just an angel. She's just an adorable angel. When she sees me, she just runs and holds her hands out to me.
I love that.
Yeah, she runs down the hallway with her hands out, you know. And then she cries when she has to go back with the cousin, you know. But, you know, they're a young couple. They've never had a baby before. And she went and got her foster license, and now I think she's working for them. I'm not for sure, you know, but they knew a lot of people in the community too, through judges, through police jury, through churches.
You can't sue judges right
and
now
the
until
list
we get
goes on.
We can't sue judges until we get the federal bill in that lets you actually sue. Like, there's no more immunity.
Yeah. Well, you know, this one judge that did the removal of the baby, he was so old. It was just sad to see him up there because He looked dazed. He looked like he did not know what was going on. His mouth was open. He was maybe drooling a little bit, you know, and then he retired shortly after that. So there comes another judge, which knows the mother.
Right. Of course. All right. I love you, Lisa. Thank you for coming on and sharing your
Love you too.
Everyone was like, I didn't get to hear the rest. So if you are on Facebook, go and answer some of the questions because people are asking questions.
Okay.
I'm exhausted. I wonder.
There you are.
And I really appreciate you coming on. And I love it when people are like, I'm nervous.
I didn't even know I was going to be on here right now, so excuse my appearance.
Do not worry, girl. Look at me. I'm done. I'm tired. I didn't break.
I hear you. I hear you. But
thank you so much for coming on.
You're
and
welcome.
Go
Thank you.
to Facebook. A lot of people are asking questions about what you're saying, and I wanted to say it, but then you disappeared. Blah blah blah. Anyway, all right. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.
No problem, girl. All right, let me end this. Can I end this? And yes, I took my jacket off, and my team will be mad at me, but at least you can't see anything from here. And I pinned up, right? I'm exhausted. I'm tired, and people can sit there and try to say it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Guess what? I don't care if it's not going to work. My goal is to get loud and to give people the courage to stand up and change. And I'm not perfect. No one's perfect, but we are all fighting for the same cause, our children. And I don't know how to fix it. I want this bill to work, but all I can do is try. That's all I can do. For the end of that way, whenever I'm done and I'm on my deathbed, I tried my hardest to get our children back. That's it. That's all I can do. No expectations. I thank you for coming in onto this long week of being on live. And it's so funny that today I finally realized that Facebook didn't even have it public. It was just my followers. So, the enemy is really trying to stop my voice, and that's okay. Go for it. But if you go to standwithmeg.com, there's a lot of forums. I do have a show that I've started that I would love for you to come on. Go please sign up for my emails for not subscriptions. Please go to my website and standwithmeg.com and fill out the form to be on my email list. I'm getting thousands of messages on all platforms, and I'm just one mom. And I have a little bit of a team, but they work too, and they are pulled thin. I make no money off all these. I will say I make no money off all these TikToks or lives or Instagram at all. And I am only standing for the truth. I am not an attorney. I do not give legal advice at all. All I do is teach people how to go on the internet and find the statutes and laws and how to navigate that and how to go to courtlistener.com. That's all I do. I'm just a mother of 5 children that's trying really hard to get my children back, but they're brainwashed right now, and it is what it is. Even if tomorrow the judge let me say you can have the kids back to normal, I would not. They're so brainwashed. They think I'm not doing anything I'm supposed to be doing. They think I'm partying all the time in New York, and fed lies. So I'm going to leave you with this tonight. This can happen to any parent right now in the United States. I'm going to post all my lives that I've done. I'm going to put them on social media, but we've had married couples, good families, single dads, single moms. If you think this can't happen to you, you're wrong. And until we all come together as parents and say enough is enough, our children are our children, our rights to speak up, to have due process. And that's my goal here, is to no more negative, no more hate. And yes, I'm pissing off a lot of attorneys because they want us to use them because they make millions of all of us. This is $1 billion industry. So I'll get off my soapbox. Have a good night. And please, it's just me. And I do not have people responding back for me. It's just me. So if you get upset with me that I don't respond back, I'm sorry. I'm trying my hardest. And I'm trying to find a way to make income as well. So if you do go to my website, please click on Google. I finally got Google to give me a little bit of advertising. So hopefully I can make a little money there. But again, I've been on live for probably 15 hours this week. And I make nothing. My goal is not to make money off of this. But like you've heard, it's hard to keep fighting for something and have any type of money for food. So I hope you have a great night. Thank you for everybody that went on to the protest and held signs up today, even if you're by yourself. And maybe tomorrow I'll go out there and hold a sign up. I don't have anything to make a sign. Can I just like hold up maybe I'll Photoshop it on. I can do that. But I need to get off here, go to bed, have a break. Love you guys. You're amazing. And hearing your stories really brings my heart happiness. We will change this. We'll take our children back, just like our forefathers did. They took their rights back. All right. Good night. Talk to you later.